Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Go to tomanddan.com for all things Tom and Dan. New stuff. Well, we're always putting new stuff on the web page.
Yeah.
Mostly content and merch. So if you're in the market for some new summer merch, if you want to get your hands on that captain's pack that we have, I like Tony put a tagline on it. He's like, whatever floats your boat. I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It finally, one of your corny phrases dialed in perfection. So well done, pizza party for Tony.
Yeah. We'll also have some new charity masks up there now. Eric is picking them up today and should be up on the site today.
And it's a
tomorrow.
weird thing when Tom says charity mask. You might ask yourself, what is a charity mask? It's a mask that you can wear while you steal money from charity.
yeah. I wasn't clear on that.
No.
Sorry. Yeah, Daniel's right.
Yeah,
That's
it's
it.
a ski.
That's it.
It's basically a ski mask. It just says Tom and Dan on it.
robbery.
Yeah, it's for robbery.
Yeah,
It's for bad, real nefarious things.
Yeah.
Only to be used while you're stealing, like the plate from a church.
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
What's that called? Offering. You know, when the offering or you're tithing.
You know what works well? Just going around and seeing if people's car doors are open, because
That's what I do.
Imbecile will leave a wallet.
I
in
found
there.
some guy's wallet, and get this, there's a bunch of gay playing cards. I was like, what is this? I was like, jackpot.
Just
Keep
throw-
the money. I'll take the cards.
Yeah, just throw those in the neighbor's bushes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's time.
Jack! Nerds! Jack! Nerds! Jack! Nerds!
Jock, nerd, jock, nerd.
Jack!
It is Nerd Jock with EJ. How you doing, EJ?
Good. How did that guy not see your wallet before he ran it over with the lawnmower, though?
Well, it wasn't the
Is his
wallet.
grass too tall? Is that what the problem is?
I think it was the lawn guys and their riding lawnmowers.
They're like, hey, there's
they
a
don't
gay
care.
wallet over here. Let's
Gay
shred it.
wallet.
And I think it was on the perimeter near the bushes, which the grass was like higher, or there was some jasmine in there. I don't know. Don't
Confederate
know
jasmine.
how it happened, but yeah, I'll tell the whole story on Friday Free Show. But I got my wallet back just in time, and that I canceled all my credit cards and went to the DMV and got a new license. So I just got a wallet full of plastic garbage, but I did get my D playing cards back, all wet because my wallet's been sitting out in the rain for a week.
So now these playing cards that have men with, fully at attention, fully going for it, and completely nude, wearing jean shorts and tucking things out of leg holes.
Yeah.
I mean, these playing cards are amazing, but we got them all back.
Yeah, I got my
Except for, I think maybe King of Hearts and maybe Jack of Spades.
and I guess I got my medical marijuana card. That's good. And then I got my global reentry card.
Good thing you got that.
Which I'll most likely never use again.
Well, yeah, we've all been parked until the end of the world.
Yeah. I mean, unless I go to where New Zealand, they'll probably frown upon Florida.
They're not letting you in. You got to pretend like you're
New
not
Zealand,
Florida.
I'm coming from Florida. I want to come to see.
Wait a minute, you there? Hey, you there? Wearing those jean shorts and the Florida Gator shirt.
My pop-up said you're gay Australia.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I got a good story that'll transition from the playing card.
Wait a
to-
minute,
for
you're
sure.
the gay playing card guy. Oh, love ya.
All right. We'll just start with sports. So there's this Toronto Blue Jays baseball player who got in trouble for public masturbation in Dunedin, Florida.
Dunedin.
Oh, yeah.
Dunedin? Is that how you say
Dunedin.
that?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
over by Clearwater.
It's like-
Yeah, I love that
area.
place.
It's like what you say when you leave the buffet.
Yeah,
Dunedin.
it's right
Thank
there near.
That's where
kind
my
of-
hot tub is, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
whoa.
Oh.
What does that mean?
Oh.
Trav's uncle's hot tub that he was going to give us.
Oh,
He's
that's in
he's down there in
You need to
Dunedin.
get it.
It's a nice part.
And then you can call it the Dunedin Hot Tub, which is kind of a cool name.
So what?
It's kind of cool, right?
Where was this guy at?
So he was in the parking lot, and he was,
Going
in
to
his
town.
car, and the cops approach him, and he has his sweatpants around his ankles and his shirt just covering himself as he takes care of himself.
No, you
in the
never,
parking
you
lot.
never drop them to your ankles.
I wish
mean,
they told us
yeah, why
what
would you do
parking
that?
lot it was in.
And if you learned anything from, I believe it was Youngblood from Dog the Bounty Hunter,
Yeah.
it's to always
Spill the orange
spill
juice.
the orange juice. You know, yes, pizza party for you. Pizza party for you having a good memory.
So was why did someone call the cops? Was he?
The cops just rolled through
it
the
doesn't
parking
tell
lot.
him the story. It just says the cops approach him while he's there, and then he's like starts apologizing profusely, and then he tells him to get out of his car, and he still has an erection as he gets out of his car.
Oh man.
Well, I
What
mean,
a bad day that is.
Well, it's not
Why?
like a
Why?
powered window. It,
I don't know. If the cops approach, I'm going down pretty fast, I think.
there's not a ton of details in this story.
This
Like what
happens a
time
lot.
it was, what parking lot it was. Like, was it in the middle of the afternoon?
Well, it happens
Like-
a lot, and I feel like guys are kind of idiots. Why are you going to... Look, guys, it's the car that's out in the middle of nowhere with no other cars around it.
Right.
And guess where the cops are going to drive by? That car.
So
and guess what you're going to be doing? What he's doing.
now let me ask you this: because it all depends on the circumstance. If you are in an abandoned parking lot, let's say,
You're
or
a target, I think.
Yeah.
no, well, but I mean, if you are far away from everybody and no one can see you, and let's say you are in the OLE parking lot, right? It's public,
Yeah.
but there's no one around. Is
No one
that
can hear you.
is that really public
It
masturbation?
is a public parking lot, though.
True, but
So
you're
by technicality,
nobody would ever see you, so you're not like exposing your. You know what I'm saying?
Well, then
Like,
you would never get caught.
Well, the cops could be like, "Why is that car on in a abandoned
Right.
parking lot?" And then go check.
Don't you ever like park somewhere? Let's say you're eating a Checkers hamburger or something in a park. You ever
Yeah.
like? And don't you feel weird? Like I always feel
Yes.
like I'm a target.
yeah.
Like if I'm just sitting there, like looking up something on my GPS, I always feel like people are like, "Why is he just sitting there? Why is he just sitting there?
Yeah,
is he
but-
masturbating?"
if you're not, then what
2
does it matter?
p.m. It was at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and he
He
was
must
in a
have went to
strip.
day strip strippers.
It was a
That's what he
strip
must have
mall
went to.
parking lot, and he was watching porn on his phone.
Oh, come on, man.
Was he just trying to get away from his family and have some alone
The
time?
cops did ask him why he decided to use the parking lot instead of not going home, and
Why
he
did he
said
go home?
it looked
Yeah.
like a good place.
Yeah, that's what you
He's
say.
like a sex addict.
Honestly, that sounds like
24 years old.
that sounds like an honest answer to me.
He probably is just
It's not a lot of thought put in this.
Got a
and
lot of testosterone, and he
Yeah,
had
yeah.
to.
He's young,
care of
a lot of
business.
testosterone.
Maybe he's got
kind of dumb.
too much testosterone, if you know what I mean. My
Yeah,
buddy,
could be pumping it up.
said when he got on testosterone, when he got on the fireman's
Yeah,
cocktail,
he freaked out a little bit, didn't he?
he said he was taking so much testosterone that
He excused himself from a family dinner one time.
Yeah.
You told me this story.
He was at like Olive Garden, and
Oh,
he's
God.
like, I can't take it, and he
I'm
had
like,
to
sir, where are you going? I brought your tour of Italy.
he had to go.
Costume bowls ready.
He had to go into the stall and take care of it because
cover the deep fried ravioli in foil. Keep it hot.
he said it was too much because his testosterone was too high. He was like he's driving him crazy. So maybe this baseball player
Sir, please come back. We're the home of Hospitaliano.
But again, if you are away from everybody and nobody could feasibly walk
I know
by
what
you or
you're
see
saying.
But
you,
it was
then,
in
It's
the
a
middle of
victimless
the
crime,
afternoon
you're
in a
saying?
strip mall.
You know what I
there
say?
had to be people.
You know what
there.
I say on this one? If nobody can see you, I'm not
I
going
don't
to say.
care, yeah.
I don't care. But I'm just going to say, if you're in the middle of the parking lot and you don't think the cops are going to roll by the
Right.
car that's sitting out there too?
also go.
I'd roll by.
You know, in the back of strip malls where all the dumpsters are, and there's parking lots back there,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
employees park or whatever. Like that's a better
That's
place
where
to
the bums
hide.
go to feed the
Yeah.
cats.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You got to do what I do. Car wash.
Oh,
Whoa, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
no,
I'm
they got
telling you.
they got
Good
cameras
idea.
in there.
No.
Do
I
they?
got
Yeah.
tinted windows.
Yeah, you're right.
And
Again,
I also wear a luchador mask when I go through there.
like, okay, let me ask you this: what if you were in an RV? Well,
That's
okay.
totally fine because the windows are completely closed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you can't see inside.
Or like a van with tinted windows, and you went to the back.
Like a vampire van where they put the tinfoil on the windows to keep the sunshine out?
would it still be considered like a public thing?
I think only people can see you. 'Cause
Right.
How would they even know?
Okay, yeah. I guess you're right. They just knock on
Like
the,
a limo.
Yeah.
Right.
It would be still, I guess, in the public, but if
I
no
think
one
this
can
is just
see
a
you-
roll of the dice. You screwed up.
Yeah.
And the cop just happened to. Now,
People make some.
do
idiots
cops
do
drive
it.
by? Now, are there cops, and EJ, maybe let's see where everybody agrees on this. Are there cops that will drive by, see that, park your car, get out, knock, knock on the window and be like, come on, man.
Yeah, of
Come
course.
on, man.
Give you a
Yeah.
pass. Yeah.
What are you doing? You're an idiot. Go home.
Yeah.
Get out of here. And do that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes more sense to me than ruining the guy's. I mean, it could ruin your marriage. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
I don't know
Yeah.
if he's married,
He
but
can
He
get-
got minimal fines.
No,
and
I'm-
he didn't spend
I'm-
any time in jail.
sorry,
Yeah,
Sam.
he just got some
played no
fines.
I'm
contest,
applying
yeah.
it to me. I'm
Oh.
just saying, like, if
Yeah.
you're because I know a guy that I know a
this
guy.
ruined Pee Wee Herman's career.
not really though.
Yeah.
He came back.
Yeah, well, but he
Wow.
was.
The attorney that prosecuted him used to work here with us.
Pee Wee Herman's attorney.
Pee Wee Herman, yeah.
Oh.
Why don't you get us an interview with Pee Wee Herman's attorney? Come on, what do you get
No,
for
'cause
each?
that guy was not cool. Believe
Oh.
me.
Get
I'm
us
glad
an
that he was
interview
gone.
with Herman.
Yeah, I want to talk to her.
All right, next story.
Okay, I got a story for Tom. He'll love this for sure. So FanDuel is giving refunds for a bet that was placed for UFC for Max Holloway versus Alexander. Oh man, Volkanovski.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you see this?
I didn't.
Okay, what happened was it was a split decision at the end, and because it seemed like it was a very controversial split decision, they refunded people's money that bet on Max Holloway.
Huh.
I've never heard of that.
Holloway won.
Yeah, because he won the first 2 rounds for sure. It was without a doubt he won those first 2
I would
rounds.
say-
The second, the third, and the fourth was close. It could go either way, and then the 5th round was kind of up in the air too. So they were like, it's too close. It's not a good decision. Let's kind of give everyone their
There was
money back.
a lot
They bet
of
on him.
weird stuff on UFC this past weekend. Like that fight was weird. Like it looked like a really bad call. Then there was another one. I forgot the fighters' names, but I don't know. Did you watch it, EJ?
Not really. I saw that
Okay.
it was Fight Island though. That was the
'Cause
first one at Fight Island.
There
right?
was one guy that was just getting repeatedly beat in the back of the head, and they weren't calling it. And it's
Yeah.
like this guy's gonna die or have
Oh, that's
severe brain damage.
That's not good.
It's a smart marketing move by FanDuel because they're getting stinking rich because of now they're implementing sports gambling in their app.
All it does is make you more beloved, right? I mean,
So yeah, and so in certain states, it's not here in Florida or in a lot of different ones, but I know in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, like Vegas, and and there's I think another like 10 states or whatever that have legalized sports gambling. Well, federally it's legal, but the states now it's up to the states. So now through FanDuel's app, basically just like Bovada and all the offshore accounts, you can. They got a sports book, so they put up all the lines and stuff, and you can bet. They're getting stinking rich, especially because they're getting majority public money. So of course they just like if something's close, just give the people their money back. You want them to keep gambling. That's the way you make. So you have to refund what, a couple million maybe. It's a drop in the bucket.
Is
for
there a
them.
blow
It was
dryer
also
on in the
credit.
background?
Sorry.
can you turn off your Mima's blow dryer?
Yeah, what is going on over there?
Is she
It's
sitting
the-
under one of
it's
those
the
cotton
machine
Wow.
for-
one of those
It's the,
loud cotton top makers?
It's the coffee machine. It's keeping
My
itself
God.
cool.
Oh,
Is it built in the
Because it gets
80s?
hot in here.
My
Believe
God.
me, if the air I have the air conditioner.
What are you
set to,
running
like
in there?
66 degrees here.
What kind
But
of copier?
Copy machines keep it hot.
kind of copier are you running in there? What do you got?
It's a Toshiba eStudio 1207.
Ooh, Toshiba.
Nice.
What is that? What? 07?
Yeah, 1207.
1207. I like the 1207.
Yeah, the thing's like the size of a small, like smart car.
The
like a large
06
smart
I like
car.
I like the dimensions and the silhouette of the 06 a little bit better than the 07, but the 7 spits out a little more paper speed.
So he goes all the way over there and all the way to there.
You thought I was serious.
Yeah,
You
don't
poor,
listen to
poor
Daniel.
dum-dum.
How dare you?
What? Next story.
All right. Next story. Well, we got to talk about the team that used to be in Washington, formerly known as the racial slur, is going to get its name changed.
I think it's okay to say it because it was an actual thing.
Yeah.
They're changing because of that reason. So I'm going to.
I mean, I get it, but it-
You
right
could say-
side.
As a
Redskins.
journalist, you have to
Yeah,
say the
I think
facts.
you could say Redskins.
I mean, it's also.
I think they should
Well, they
change it to
retired
the
it. They
Washington.
retired it on Monday. So
I think
I'm
they-
retiring it as well.
Look, they like being called the Skins. Just go with me on this, right? Potato Skins,
Ooh, I'm in.
right? The Washington Potato Skins. Who
I
doesn't
am-
love a
dude, I would root
Dude,
for them.
I will BF a potato skin right now.
Yes.
Underrated
Potato skin sounds
appetizer.
good.
Completely underrated appetizer.
Who's
and
gonna
it's
be offended
Time
by
to bring
potato
it back.
skins?
Yeah.
Juan Potato Skins.
Here-
Putting it out there.
I think why probably like Redskins fans or some of them are mad about it or whatever is probably because
Heritage, not.
Oh, stop.
not even that. It's
Oh God, get off it.
It's most likely because anybody who's like a serious Washington Redskins fan, probably the overwhelming majority, I imagine, never probably associated it with racism. You see what I'm saying, or a hate in their mind, and they're like even growing up.
I don't think they thought about it,
So
but
they
it is an actuality.
They never so they're probably like, what? Like none of this fan culture has ever been about like racism or a hate, and this the word redskin has never in our minds. I imagine they're probably like, what? So that's
my dad was a Washington Redskins fan,
but
I don't think my wife asked me, would he care? I go, I don't think so. He just wants them to win, and they don't.
Yeah. So I can understand their point of view. It's like we've never associated this with any sort of hate or racism, whatever. But with all it being said, it's more of a general changing.
Well, you wouldn't relate it to it if you weren't Native American, probably.
The culture, the culture.
Yeah.
The
but I think what you're
environment.
saying, there is the ignorance there. I think leans pretty heavy.
Yeah.
and I think a
they're
lot
not
of people
going
don't
for
even.
malice when
Right.
they're ignorant about it. They're actually, we like the Redskins, but
Yeah, but it's not even an ignorance thing. It's more like, well, this has always just been the name, and
But that is ignorance because you didn't associate it with racism, but it very much holds that weight.
Yeah, no, I
So that's
understand.
ignorant to not know that it's a racial slur. Well, people are telling you now, so just listen and let's change it, which they're doing.
Yeah.
But we don't know what
they're
we still
thinking
don't know
about
what they're
changing to
naming
the Red
it. Though.
Tails or the Red Wolves.
But you're
is what
saying
they're
like the
looking at.
majority of people didn't even equate it to that to begin with, which I think is right.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
And I think even like it's just more about, and that's what it's more about like a changing of the guard, a corporate like decision that like, and a culture that we want to start moving past this old stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like more about that, a broader picture than this specific thing. That's why it makes it so complicated. But I think we can all agree that who cares if they change the name, except if you're a diehard Redskins fan that grew up. You know what I'm saying?
was
That
trying to
maybe
think
that
of, like-
you hold on to this nostalgia and you're like confused and mad about it. But besides from that minority of people, I don't think anybody cares, right?
I mean, I don't.
No,
I think it's a good move.
I don't
You
care.
know, why not?
I don't really care about any NFL team or any major league team changing their name. What does it really matter? You know?
Yeah.
And maybe change it to something. I mean, I think everybody can get on board. You're changing the name to something that everybody can enjoy.
Well,
all right.
imagine
what's
all,
wrong with that? Nothing.
Imagine all the people with Redskins tattoos.
I thought about that.
Because for sure, with every major sports league, there's your hardcore, your
dog
hardcore
fan, Danny.
your
you know?
hardcore supporter group, and I'm sure there's a hardcore Redskins supporter group, although smaller than the other teams because Washington Redskins have had notoriously horrible turnouts for their games and one of the worst home field advantages in the NFL. So it's not like the Green Bay Packers where you got this gigantic
This could
fan
actually end up
base.
being a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, like it's like a fresh start, and you get to start with something that
get some other people involved.
Yeah, that no one could ever go and say like, oh, well, that's because like honestly, my dad was a big Washington Redskins fan, like growing up.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the team he and his twin brother kind of fell in love with, living in Virginia. I never knew until, I don't know, years ago when you heard the first news story about it, that I wouldn't have known that was, but then explain, I get it.
And
totally get it.
Yeah, and I don't fault the people that like the true hardcore Washington Redskins fans that will be mad about it.
Unless you're saying, I'm racist and I love this racist
I
thing.
like it because it's that way.
But
Then you're a weirdo, a horrible person.
I probably those people probably do exist, but I don't think it's the majority. But like I said,
What do you think
who
they'll
cares?
do? What do you think they're going to go to? I think it'll be cool. I think whatever they
the
do.
Red
I'm for
Tails
potato
and the Red
skins, to
Wolves,
be
but the
honest.
problem is a lot of the
Potato skins?
the trademarks on them have already been bought up by people thinking that they were going to change the name to
No,
this thing.
that's BS.
See, that's
Yeah, I know, but
But
terrible.
when you start
Yeah,
trying to
it's-
do that, they're going to find a way around it. So you can think that you're like Mr. Internet Genius and you lock down the name, but they've got bigger attorneys and they're smarter than you and they're going to get what they want.
Also,
So-
the owner of the Washington Redskins is generally hated, right? Like,
Dan Snyder. Yeah, he's another nice guy.
Yeah, I've heard that before in a lot of different sports shows and stuff. Like nobody really likes that guy. Nobody likes
Well,
that
maybe
the
he can make a good
organization.
move here
Yeah,
and
yeah.
maybe put a little shine back in his
Well,
organization.
He was forced to. Let's be honest. He didn't volunteer. Like,
Well,
if this was
or
2
he
years,
would have already done it.
Yeah,
Correct. You're right.
Yeah.
2 years ago, when this has been brought up before, he's basically gave the middle finger and said, "This will never change."
He literally used the word never. Yeah.
Yeah. And so now he's like, I'll change it. But
Yeah.
When the
He
sponsors
knows.
started saying, like Nike and FedEx
Money
started
talks.
saying, "You're not going to
Oh,
get anything from us." He's like, "Oh, I'll change my mind now because
Yeah.
it's counting my money."
Thank
yeah.
you. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
What else you got?
The last thing I have for sports is the Orlando bubble, the NBA and the MLS here. Have you seen some of the pictures of the guys here? Like Ben Simmons was fishing off a fort, the Floridian. Have you seen that? And he drops the fish and it hits the dock.
No, I didn't. So they're already starting to come into town.
Yeah, they're already here. A lot of them are.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Interesting.
Yeah, they're complaining about the meals they're getting. Like they got this like cheese sandwich they got for one of their like snacks when they got here, and all the players were taking pictures of it and sending it on Instagram.
No, wait
Like
a
it's
minute.
Firefest.
Wait a minute. That was
Yeah,
no. Wait a minute.
seriously.
Wait a minute. Now I don't normally do this.
But
to
they
you.
fixed it.
That
They
was an
fixed it.
MLS story, right?
The NBA and MLS.
That
both
was
got the
a
same kind
lie.
of thing as a snack. Yeah,
That was a lie. Those MLS players weren't even in town, but were taking photos of food just to make it look bad, and they weren't even in town.
Oh,
yet.
like as a joke.
Yeah.
They were.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh,
Yeah,
like it's a Firefest type of thing.
I don't know if they just like everything is fake news now. Like everything.
Also, why would you do that when Disney is letting you use their facilities to actually allow you to play? You're
Yeah,
going to try and make them look
'Cause
bad?
I remember when that first came out. Andrew
Because
and I
you're
were-
millionaires stuck in a
Well,
location that
you're-
you can't do anything but you want.
You're
That's
20.
why.
You're a 22-year-old D-head too. Like
Yeah.
let's remember these are kids.
Yeah, that,
like,
and that's my point. Andrea said
In the
the same
MLS,
thing.
oh,
they're babies.
In the MLS,
17 years old.
You could be 17 in the MLS, and like you could be under 18 and be playing professional. And the MLS skews a lot younger too. Like NFL, you're gonna at least
You got to be 24 usually.
Yeah, I mean, or at least 22.
22 is the lowest, yeah.
Yeah, and so but still, you're a young early 20s D-head, and you're just effing around. You're also in a scenario you don't want to be in because it's not the normal situation. It's there's a lot more restrictions. Like they're probably not happy about it. They still want to get paid, so they're doing it. But so you're trolling,
Yeah,
They want to go
God.
to the club. They want the notoriety that comes with their celebrity, and they can't
Yeah.
do that if they're in a bubble. So
Yeah.
of course they're going to lash out every once in a while.
Yeah, Fisher in our Twitch chat room, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live, he says, NBA player ordered takeout and tagged the NBA. Rules state you can't bring food in. He is now quarantined longer.
Idiot.
Yeah, again, you're not dealing with the
Well, yeah.
smartest and you're not dealing with the oldest and wisest, because
Yeah.
with age comes maybe a little bit more maturity.
Yeah.
You just make stupid mistakes.
And you're rich, so even if you're not a
I
millionaire.
wonder what he ordered. What was so good that he
See,
wanted
that's
to order?
the
Potato
million-dollar
skins.
question.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah.
See,
Chili's
now
potato skins.
Man, now I'm really thinking about potato skins
Yeah.
hard.
Let's just all agree this is going to be a gigantic mess, and there's going to be a lot
Orlando
of
City plays tonight.
bizarre. Yeah, they're
Didn't they beat Miami a couple of days
Yeah,
ago?
They
by,
did.
by one goal. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
They look sloppy, but not terrible.
It's going to be real interesting to see how they handle and mishandle all this stuff, and just the calamity that comes with it. You know what I'm saying? It's just gonna
I
be
think
a
I
mess.
reached a point where, and I wish everybody else would reach this point on social media. And if you're listening to this, you can do me a favor. You don't need to tell me that we're mismanaging or that the world is mismanaging things. We're here.
We're
We're
aware.
all here, and
We're aware.
the more you scream it,
Nah, people love screaming.
stop screaming. Just
No, they're
sit
just-
there, just eat your
Potato skins.
potato skin and go
Keep
to
your mouth
sleep. And
shut.
go to sleep.
You know what I realized is
if you don't
Go
like
for
the
potato skins
bacon,
for
just
lunch.
pick it off.
That's what I do.
I'll eat it.
in my never-ending quest to understand humans, I have now understood and are fine with just people. They need to say stuff on social media to get it off their chest, and
Yeah,
that's
it's venting.
It's venting, and it's like kind of my like
Oh,
my,
that's
my
what
wife.
you've been doing in your car.
yeah.
Is that
Screaming
what-
into the air
Is
vents.
that what made you learn? Is that you've been so frustrated this week with the home renovation projects that you have? You tell us every morning you start the day by punching your steering wheel and screaming into your air vents.
So that's venting to me. So what?
Everyone vents in
Oh
their
my
own
God,
way.
it's real venting.
So-
He uses real vents,
Right.
100% real vents.
Better though, because cold air blowing in your
Yeah.
face while you scream.
Yeah.
So just keep
No,
scrolling.
his air conditioning's broken.
Oh, that's right.
No need to get in arguments with people because they're venting, so they don't want you to solve their problems. Just like my wife, when she tells
Yep.
me her problems,
Mine too.
she doesn't want me to solve them. She doesn't even want me to comment on them. All she wants me to do is
Listen.
nod my head, listen. So just keep on scrolling. Nobody wants
Keep
anybody's
scrolling,
opinion.
scrolling, scrolling.
We're gonna
Oh,
go. I'm telling you, that'll be a viral video.
And I know you've been punching your steering wheel right here. That hurts my
Limp Bizkit.
throat. Next.
All right, should we go to nerd stuff?
Yeah.
All right.
Whatever.
Well, let's talk about the one we missed last week, the Super Nintendo World. The video I sent you guys.
Oh, darn
Last
it.
week.
Can't pull it up.
I know.
but we
Don't
can
worry
talk
about it. You guys seen it already. It looks fantastic, right?
I think, and look, man, I'm a hard critic when it comes to the theme parks. I thought it looked like some of the best theme park design that I've seen. I thought it's
amazing.
It's
Yeah.
one of the
No,
things that I didn't think would like make me super excited, but when I saw it, I was like, "Ooh, I really would like to go to that." And I think your boys and my daughter loving Super Mario as much
Yeah.
as she loves Super Mario, I think it's gonna blow her mind because it looks legitimately real.
Yeah,
First,
my
like-
daughter's been playing Super Mario World on the little NES Mini, and she loves
Best
Mario.
game.
Like she's like Mario, and
Yeah.
she likes how to smash the blocks. She would love it. She'd lose her mind if we went to that.
Like
park,
my
for
daughter
sure.
asked me this morning if Princess Peach smells like peaches because she was eating a peach.
Yeah.
I didn't know what
Yes,
to tell
she
her.
does.
I would assume so.
Video games are the one rarity in the world of characters going from generation to generation. For instance, like
A lot of nostalgia there.
we would never have the same kids characters that we grew up with as our parents because they grew up with some weirdo like old 1950s and 60s cartoons.
Captain Kangaroo.
Yeah,
sure, yeah.
To like our Mr. Rogers.
But with
to,
video
their
games-
Bluey that's going on now.
But we grew up playing Super Mario Brothers, and now our kids will, and then so we'll technically
Yeah.
have the same character experience at the same age.
Mario is
which
very
is weird.
Follow me with this. Mario is very similar in character to like a Santa Claus because
Yeah.
he is
It's
generational.
timeless.
He doesn't really age. His games are bigger and bigger and bigger. Nintendo's done a really good job of kind of guiding that. I can't really say the same for Xbox. It's not like when I get old, my daughter's going to be like,
Daddy, tell me about you playing Gears of War 5.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
she's not gonna care because it's not as big. It's not as good a character as Nintendo, Yoshi, Luigi. Like, how many of you guys can name every single one of those guys?
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
You
Well,
can't.
Master Chief might work for Xbox.
Yeah, well,
Well, when
he's-
they're older.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
older, but
When they're
still,
teenagers
he also
or-
doesn't appeal to everybody like Mario does. Like Mario,
Yeah.
he appeals to every gender. He appeals to every race, color, creed. You know, like he's.
But yeah, and
Yeah,
also
he's,
the age.
is the game that comes with the box. It's not like Legend of Zelda where Link is known by everyone unless you played that game.
Yeah.
Like your dad played Legend of Zelda, and I remember he gave you crap about playing on his save, didn't he?
Yeah. And but it would be like him as a kid playing Zelda, and then me playing. So
Yeah, yeah.
now this is the first generation that it's like we and our kids are playing the same character.
Yeah.
And then
This is the first,
and
you're
it's
correct.
changed very little technically.
We'd have to go back
Yeah.
in time though to figure out, like, because I think the first generations, and you and I missed it, but would have been Dad played Pac-Man, Kid plays Pac-Man. You know
My
what I mean?
dad played Pac-Man. He got
So-
in trouble for not letting us play for
Yeah,
my mom.
Pac-Man-
I'll never forget that.
But
We play-
Mario is a good one for us.
Yeah, because Pac-Man doesn't really have as much of a personality.
No.
Just a
They
stupid
tried,
ball with
yeah.
a mouth.
He's a dot eater, yeah.
And they had Miss Pac-Man and Baby Pac-Man, but still, that was where I think you would find your beginning generational, jump.
Remember the live-action Mario movie
Yes.
with
Yeah.
John Leguizamo.
John
Don
Leguizamo
Hoskins.
and Luigi?
And Bob
Yeah.
Hoskins?
Bob Hoskins,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a hunk of
Yeah.
garbage.
I want to revisit it.
Who's playing Bowser? Oh, what's his
Dennis
name?
Hopper.
Dennis Hopper.
Yeah,
Dennis
yeah.
Hopper. Yeah.
It's a weird. I bet is that even age appropriate? What age are you?
It's okay.
Yeah.
I want a dark.
1993. That
I
came
want a
out.
very dark Mario.
Yeah.
I want like
That's Wario.
No, but I want it to be like violent and.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You
Like
strike me as more of a Waluigi man.
Waluigi, yeah.
Yeah.
what is that? That's a bad Luigi.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's bad Luigi.
He's
yeah.
my favorite. I really like Waluigi.
Next story.
Oh, the next one. Okay, well, talking about theme parks, have you seen the ad from Fuji Q in Japan where they were saying, "Scream inside your heart, please"?
Yeah. They don't want you screaming on roller coasters.
They don't want you screaming because of the COVID on roller
pandemic.
coasters.
So
So
they're
they're saying,
like, "Please scream
instead of
inside of
screaming,
your
just
heart."
scream inside.
That sounds terrible.
I do that every day.
Yeah.
Go into your car and vent.
I would tell them, my counter argument would be, my dad did that and he died.
I mean,
So I don't want to do that.
yeah.
So thank you.
I
I will
mean-
not be riding your heart attack machine.
It's kind of involuntary, right? When you're on a roller coaster, you're not really like cognitively thinking like I'm gonna scream when I go down. Like,
Are they
it's
going to
just-
tell us at a Halloween Horror Nights? Like, please do not be scared. Hooga booga. And I'm like,
Chainsaw.
yeah, and I just hold it in.
That's a good point. I wonder if
Uh-oh.
all that
Don't
stuff,
talk about
Halloween
it.
Horror
Yeah,
Nights.
it's
Or
all
maybe
talk
they'll
about
just
it.
have a hallway and the windows, and then the windows will come up and people just cough on you.
Oh my god.
That's super scary. You want to be scared? That'll scare your pants
I'm not
off.
going for sure.
So they tell you not to scream on the roller coaster.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I feel like that's more of just some viral marketing move. You know, I'm like,
Yeah.
They got us talking about it for sure.
Yeah, because I feel like there's no way you could ever.
It's also what murderers say to you too. I'm
Oh,
not.
God.
No, they do. They're like, don't scream. You don't scream.
you couldn't enforce
I'm like, all
that.
right, hey.
Like after it goes down, one person screams,
Beep.
they stop it like,
No.
gang!
Oh,
Like,
no.
get off! And then
You're
go
gonna
off.
be a DN about it. You're gonna be like, cut, 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 peep, king. Who peeped?
Yeah. then you gotta walk up that little path on the side, which I've always wanted to walk on roller coasters. By the way, the
Lift
little
your belt.
the path on both sides of a wooden
Yeah.
roller coaster that you could walk up that has
Yeah.
like an arm rail. You walk up, you get the person out, you take them
You
down.
always see like shaky old ladies walking down it. You know, you never see somebody actually like ripping down that thing or
Yeah, yeah.
running down it like, oh, it sucks, we got stuck. But you always see some old lady being assisted.
Next story.
Well, talking about death, let's talk about Grant Imahara. You heard about him passing away today?
I sent it to everybody this
Brain
morning.
aneurysm. Wow, man.
49
What a way.
years of age.
Yeah, that's as random as it gets. That's the I can't I
Believe-
couldn't have stopped this.
Yeah.
I just out of nowhere.
Yep.
It just lights out.
There is a silver
crazy.
lining, though, to this, is aneurysms confirmed.
Oh man, come on. I love
Not
Mythbusters.
busted.
It also, man, it's Daniel's mentioned this. Is like, if you think about it, we're all gonna die. Aneurysm. Although you don't want it too early, like this guy was too young at 49 now, but like at 89.
I told Andrea this morning, aneurysm's the way. If I'm going to have something that's just lights out, I'm all right with that.
If you're older, it's like not like you have to go through cancer or some illness. It's like, you just lights out one day.
Yeah.
But
But
he's
so super duper young. And
he was too young and too healthy of a guy.
it strikes me as being super random because he always, out of everybody on the show, he kind of struck me as being the most fit.
Yeah.
And most positive.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't think aneurysm has anything to do
Anything.
with your health. It's just some random, like, I don't even know. Like, we need to talk to a doctor. I don't even know what even is, like, the doctors say causes this. Is this a complete fluke?
You could have an aneurysm on the toilet. You never know.
Is it, the drill sergeant said it.
Was a little low here.
You could have an aneurysm on the toilet. You never know.
Yeah, it's true.
Is it similar to a stroke in which it's a blockage? Or what is an aneurysm? Look it up, Samantha. I don't even know what the hell it is. Do you know? Like,
I was named after him. My full name
An
is
excessive
Danurism Lee Dennis.
An excessive localized enlargement of an artery caused by a weakening of the artery wall.
Oh, weak artery.
so it's just a random that you could never know that you had
You
that.
never know. You just said
And then it can
you just did it. My God, you just did it. Hold on, somebody
Oh,
clip
it's
that.
sure.
Somebody clip that.
God damn it.
Tom goes, so you can be on the toilet. Never know. Like, you're such
Oh
an
my
idiot
God.
sometimes, man. You just hear things. You just say it. That's all.
And if it ruptures, it can result in internal bleeding, a stroke, and can sometimes be fatal.
Okay. Yeah.
Woofy.
So it's just a
That's not
thin.
You can have an aneurysm, and it's just an
You're doing
enlarged artery. But if it
You could have an
burst, yeah.
aneurysm.
So
You could have an
ruptures.
aneurysm.
then you're in trouble.
I wonder if you were like a real hypochondriac.
Hey,
Could you go to, like, if you had unlimited money, could you go to like a neurologist?
Well, I'm
or-
having deja vu right now. You're gonna say and make me unaneurysmable.
or no, not it, but or just scan every
Get an MRE
artery
every
You got to
day,
get a
like Seth.
scanurism.
to see if like you had any weakening in your artery, or like could you prevent this at all
Yeah.
if you were ultra
This
paranoid?
goes along the lines of pre-stents, right?
Yeah.
We're always trying to look at the quick and easy method to stay alive forever by opening our arteries as large as humanly possible.
Well, okay, because think about it. Like, so if you were really paranoid about dying and then but had lived a healthy lifestyle, ate correctly, exercised, you did everything everything that science and a doctor would tell you need to do to keep yourself healthy. But then there's random aneurysms like this.
Randomisms is what
So
they're
then
called. Yep.
could you get all your arteries scanned and make sure that
I'm sure,
there's none
yeah.
that's any sort of weakness? Like, or is this impossible?
Well, if they
to
scan
predict.
it and they find you have an aneurysm that hasn't ruptured, can they remove it?
Yeah. I think they can repair it.
Okay.
Because
We should have asked that lady from Weird Job Wednesday last week.
So,
if you have an aneurysm,
so
that doesn't kill
aneurysm
you.
can have a randorism scanurism
I
to
know.
find the aneurysm?
Yes.
Sorry, EJ. Anything else? we
No
got
worries.
there?
I got two more stories. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or Batwoman?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are Batwoman?
Let's
Yeah.
go with the turtles because Batwoman stinks, right? We
I
could all-
kind of figured you'd go that. That's the one
Yeah.
I want to talk about anyways.
What does she
the
drive?
new
She,
Teenage
wait,
Mutant
she
Ninja
has,
Turtles
she has a
comic.
motorcycle, right?
What?
Nothing. Teenage Mutant Ninja
okay.
Turtles.
They're coming out with a new comic called The Last Ronin, and it's one surviving turtle. All the other turtles have been dead, and you don't know which one it is, but he's using their weapons to get revenge on who killed them.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, so then I guess he'll be revealed sort of at the end. So
At the end of it, so you don't know who's the last surviving turtle. You don't know
But
if
you're
it's
gonna get
Raphael,
little-
Donatello, Michelangelo.
you'll get
or
little
Leonardo.
hints though throughout and then at the end it'll turn out to be Master Splinter the whole time dressed like a turtle.
It's definitely Mikey Angelo, right?
Don't say Mikey.
Mikey Angelo.
I
Well,
know,
you
me
said
and my
last week you
sons.
said Donatello, and now it's Donatello and Mikey Angelo.
It makes Tommy and Max laugh when we always scream Mikey Angelo, and we laugh and laugh like goddamn R words.
You guys are at the same level.
Anyway,
I'm Jaffiel.
I
but
want to steal
Donatello.
someone's joke so bad right now.
but he was
Thinking that Michelangelo painted the 16th chapel. What are having the other 15? That's a Ray Reyes joke.
what? I didn't get that.
Oh my God.
But
He was dumb, and he couldn't figure out that it's the Sistine Chapel instead of the 16th chapel.
he was the most popular one, right?
Raphael?
No, Michelangelo.
He was like the cool party one.
I think Michelangelo and Raphael were the two most popular. And then after that would be
Leonardo?
I like Donatello.
Donatello was
No,
my
He's
he's
the
the
favorite.
nerd.
strongest of the games.
No, he
That's
was
why
the-
I liked him.
He's my fave.
Donatello is the nerd. He was purple, which purple sucked if you were a boy. He
Yeah.
had the stick. Great, you get a stick.
He's a scientist.
No,
It's a
purple is
boost
like the color of royalty.
It's supposed
They
to.
would never even make it without Donatello. They're
Purple-
idiot. They're idiot turtles.
Purple is the color of royalty. You stole that from the Orlando City ad that Tom and I wrote 10 years ago. Because we had to figure out a way to sell purple. And we're like, purple. Purple's the most expensive dyes that came from Africa. Boom. Write it.
Yeah. It was from sea snails. That's where they got it in the Roman times.
Cut the check.
But when you're a kid, you're just like purple's for girls. I'm just
Yeah,
stupid.
when you're a boy, it's
Yeah,
just
dumb.
you don't like the stick, and he wore goggles, or he's like, I got a tinker, and they're like,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
the nerd.
Yeah, you want the nunchucks.
You want them chucks, dog.
Yeah. Or
No.
sword,
Or the
double
so-
sword,
or the
is cool.
sword.
Yeah.
Double swords is cool. Little clunky. I was a Psy guy. I liked Raphael.
You can't size more for defense.
Yeah, it is more for
Yeah.
defense.
Yeah.
And for you'd stick the pizza with the Psy.
Yeah.
you're right.
It's a big fork.
Yeah.
Great.
He was the only turtle that could use his weapons for eating pizza.
Yeah.
No one else could use.
But Donatello could put a broom on the end of his stick.
You're right.
He could do what EJ does every day.
Aw.
You're the Donatello of your office.
Hey, that's fine.
Everybody-
Donatello's the smartest
Everybody's
one of
like,
the group, so
"Where's Donatello and his broomstick?"
With tape at the
Hurt my
end.
feelings.
You're like the middle-aged, dumpy, no-fence heroes. That's your squad.
It's like, what's the tape at the end going to do?
Yeah,
Stupid.
oh, my God.
Anyway, all right,
uses
for
the-
grip.
He uses
You
the
know
tape
that.
to turn the copier off and on.
sharpen
No,
the
it's
end.
the paper at the behind the machine.
At least
you put
I
it
have
to
a
pick it up.
spear.
Oh, look,
It's
he's got a
easy.
novelty-sized pencil.
Have Leonardo sharpen the ends until.
Hey, do you have another person in your room you work with? Can you guys dress up as turtles this year for Halloween?
Yeah.
There's no one in here. I'm by myself today.
No.
Oh, that's right. You're by yourself all week, right?
No, that's next week.
Oh, that's next week.
Who?
Yeah,
Who
we
makes
got to
sure
figure out
you're
what we're
doing
do on the
it?
28th and the 3rd.
Yeah. It seems like. What
Why do you even show up?
Yeah. What are you doing today? Like, what's your
It
daily?
look- everybody, because you have such nervous energy and you kind of bounce when you're on the camera. Twitch.tv.
Well, because I'm standing and I'm
Oh, you're
also
s-
shaking my phone, so it gets Pokemon miles.
Oh my
well,
God!
can
We're
you
trying to Skype with you.
Yeah, can you stop during the
About to have a
show?
seizure.
I mean, yeah. Can you just stand still for just our segment, and then you can go back
Okay,
to
I'll
shaking
stand
like
still.
crazy person.
God.
Can you put it like on a watch winder, like a buffalo sponge?
They actually have a cradle.
Do it
that
like
you
a
can put your-
ppm
your
meter.
phone
That's what
in.
everybody does.
They do have that. They have a cradle you can put your phone in, and it actually walks your thing for. It's like $15, but I haven't ordered it yet.
I'm gonna order it for you.
It's on Amazon.
I'm gonna order it for you.
If you do that, I
No,
would be
send
so
me the
happy.
link. I'm gonna order it for you.
But once you do that, then your whole
Life changes.
profile is a fraud, right?
Yeah.
It means
No,
you've
well,
cheated.
no, because I go on lunch. I've been riding my bike. Like I rode all the way to Panda Express by you guys, and got lunch yesterday.
Still on
It was
the
like
health
4
kick, I
miles round trip to get lunch
Yeah,
yesterday.
but I'm saying it's
On my
but-
bike.
But
Still
then
cheating.
But then it's on the watch winder.
no, I'm on my bike, so I'm really
No.
actually making the distance.
When you buy this gadget that Dan's gonna order.
Oh,
for
I'm going
you.
to cheat for sure. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
put
gonna
it on
get
at
him.
So
night,
then the
let it
integrity
roll-
of
swing.
your whole
your
game is gone.
But all
Well, it's not
what
like I'm
you've worked for.
spoofing or anything like that.
Well,
I'm changing my
I mean,
GPS.
Guys,
by-
he rides his bike to Panda
program.
Express for lunch. I mean, that is his special needs as a gift.
Dude,
You know, the
Age,
only thing you're missing is an oversized raincoat.
Age, you gotta wear your panda suit to Panda Express the next time you ride your bike there.
Oh man, I would die for sure. I wouldn't even make it halfway.
Come on.
You know how hot that panda suit is?
Come on, Age.
I bet they give you free Panda Express if you dress
Yeah.
like a panda because they'll think the boss is here.
Tell them it's Panda Day.
They're
Plus,
like,
it's
God damn,
covered,
the
so I can wear it
president!
like a face mask.
The president's outside. He's pissed.
All right, EJ, we gotta go.
All right, bye.
All right, I gotta get back to work. Love you guys. Bye.
All right, love you
I'll see
too.
ya.
Bye. All right.
All right,
that was
gotta
a hard
go.
one today.
Oh, yeah.
A tough one.
All right, let's take a quick break. We'll be back with more corporate time.
It is A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha, our producer, is here. Hello, Sam. How are you?
Hi, I am very well. How are you?
I am good. I'm going to give you a choice today for this particular Wednesday. Unless Tom's got something he needs to get out of the way, it's going to give you guys a choice. Do you want Nirvana or do you want Glassjaw?
Glassjaw. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
it's almost like he's going through my favorite bands now. Like,
Yeah.
and I texted him this morning. I'm like, "What are you doing?" Their Nirvana's really good, but let's do Glassjaw. This is Parai Mike.
Yeah, it's that day, it's another Weird Job Wednesday, and I still be coming mad ridiculous. And yeah, Tom likes it, and Daniel really wants it, and we know it's just a push to all of us. And I said, I don't understand why you don't lock your car door. Yeah, it's a rumor that your car is like an Uber and you're letting in the public just for free. And I said, it's a revolver and it's a rusty one too. I walk around with my jaw down hoping to find you. Special needs detective on the scene, looking for the guys who got away.
It's like a 3-minute song.
I think this is just a
Joke's
song
on you
about
when
Tom.
You open and go through my wallet. There's some PP pics for you.
Pee-pee pics.
And I don't understand day to day. And I said, it's a revolver, and it's a rusty one too. I walk around with my jaw down, hoping I will find you. It's a revolver, and it's a rusty one too. I walk around with my bare suit, I'm gonna find you.
So you're paying him now to just
Write songs about you?
Horrible.
This wasn't even Weird Job Wednesday
I know.
song.
Well, it said weird
you know
job
what?
in it, but it's like, so you're hiring a guy now and you're paying him good money because I see the charges go
Well,
through.
he deserves it.
Oh, he does.
I mean, Seth,
It's a lot of
not so
work.
much.
I like the when I was like, you know what, Pry, you've done a lot of good for us and songs.
And
I
he's
wanna
just
start-
doubling down on being mean to you.
I want to start paying you for each song. He's like, I got it, and then just starts clowning me for every song. But I like that.
On line one is Ashley. How you doing?
Allison.
Or Allison, whatever. This is a lady with an A name.
Allison.
Hey, Allison. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Now,
Reminds me of the song "Allison" by Elvis Costello.
I want to remind everybody, Weird Job Wednesday
Might be a little older than me.
brought to you by
Damn, bitch.
Streamline Mortgage Solution. If you're looking to do a refi or get a mortgage, go to Streamline. Talk to Brian Zymel and his team.
Brian and the team can help you out.
I just refied my house.
Oh, nice.
Because the interest rates right now are insanely low.
They are crazy.
So just give them a call because I did everything over the phone. Didn't have to go to the office. It was done in like 3 days. And I just have to go and go to the closing and close. But it's easy. Everything can be done over the phone. Just give them a call.
Yeah.
StreamlineFlorida.com. All right. So what is your job?
I am a lunch lady.
Yes. This is the one that I like.
See, I told you, Allison. See, she didn't think her job
No.
was good enough
No,
for
this
Weird
is
Job
great.
Wednesday.
I would marry you right now. I made lunch lady food this weekend. I made pizza burgers.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. This is way better than
I'm the youngest lunch lady where I work.
All right.
That's cool. That means you're cool lunch lady.
I work for a local marketing for boring.
Yeah.
You know, lunch lady is this is
you
where
got
Give us the goods.
You ever sleep with any students?
Oh, my God.
Because that's what teachers do, right?
Well, I work
Double
at an
mashed
elementary
potatoes.
school, so no.
That doesn't mean no.
Jesus,
Yeah,
man.
I mean,
I was
don't-
just saying, they're
Yeah, I
bad
mean-
people. So, lunch lady, now, how, okay, you work
I tried to
for,
keep it straight.
Public school?
No, well, I work for a charter school, but it is for the county.
okay, it's for
all
the
right.
county. So how do you even get into this line of work? Like, what is the process? Like, is it hard?
Well,
It sounds hard.
I always worked in like restaurants and whatnot because my husband's a truck driver.
Okay.
So we would kind of split the shifts. You know, I would
Sure.
work nights and he would work during the day. And then once I had my second child, we wanted something, or I wanted something where I could have the exact same schedule as them.
Smart.
And so I get summers off, every vacation they have off, everything paid. I get benefits and all that kind of stuff. And you just literally have to apply for the job. The only downside is you have to pay for your own drug test, which is kind of weird.
All right.
It's $100, and then
I wonder if
You know,
that's
I
'cause
had
it's a
to-
charter school.
well, no, it's just the county, so you have to do fingerprinting and drug test.
My mom
And
didn't
then
have
I
to do that.
passed all that, and I got hired.
Oh.
That's
Yeah.
Now that's pretty cool. How long have you been a lunch lady?
A year and a half.
Oh wow.
So I imagine that most of your probably work is all the prep, right? And then do you prep out meals for the entire week? Like, how does that work?
No, it's you normally go like 2 or 3 days ahead of time because stuff spoils. You know, the stuff that you actually have to prep and seal is like the PB&Js are fine, but like the salads, they only have like a 3-day shelf life, I think. And then all the fruits, they normally get used that day.
Right.
The fruits and veggies. So you put them in like a little plastic container, and then you put them through a sealer machine.
Cool.
So those normally last a day, and then you have to make new ones the next day. So I come in, at 9:45. Everybody else comes in at like 6 and 7 in the morning. I just finish up prep, get everything ready. I'm kind of like the floater and the dishwasher at my kids' school because that was the only spot they had open at the time.
Right.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
So I kind of just, like if somebody needs to go to the bathroom, I serve a little bit. If they need more milks or if the truck comes in while they're all serving, I do all of that.
Let me ask you a
So,
question.
like, yeah, I like the floating aspect of being able to bounce around a little bit.
Yeah.
Keeps it interesting. I kind of like that.
So I
don't like doing the same thing every
Yeah.
single day. So it's nice to be able to do different things.
Perfect.
Does it matter to you guys, to you and your crew, the lunch lady crew, that the kids enjoy the food? And when they do enjoy the food, do they tell you? And does it make your day better if that happens? Like, does that play into it at all?
Well, so when I first started, I was working at the high school, and it was a totally different group of people, and they did not care what they were putting out, and that bothered me. I actually reported them, unfortunately,
Oh, narc.
Yeah.
because it was
You ruined it.
They're
just
it's
trying to-
raw chicken they were serving
Oh, my
and
God.
frozen sides,
They're
and
young.
that
Cook
bothered
it
me
yourself.
because
You POS.
you know if that's their only meal, then
Right.
that shouldn't be a bad meal.
Oh, you're
you know?
so sweet. What a good woman.
But,
You're right.
But let's be honest. Most high school kids are they're
Yeah,
little
they deserve to
a-holes.
eat some raw.
I don't know, man.
That raw
If
chicken.
you're
There was a
eating the
couple-
school lunch, you probably need it.
I ate school lunch. I loved it.
Well,
They're just
it's all
poor
free.
a-holes.
It's all free as long as the school participates in the program.
Free
so,
raw chicken. Get your free raw chicken. Right now.
So the on the high school level, the crew didn't care as much, but in the
They beat
elementary
them down.
in the elementary school, it makes sense because elementary
High school kids are D-heads,
And,
yeah.
Oh,
and
man.
when you got elementary
Little
school kids, they're
babies, they're
still
cute.
yeah, they're still
there's a lot more allergies in elementary school, too.
Fake,
My mommy said
fake news.
My mommy said I can't eat these rolls.
Yeah.
My cheeks
got
are
gluten.
puffed. My cheeks have
Well, we have like gluten allergies,
Oh.
and then there's
Is that
like
real?
one kid that can only have a specific amount of calories per day, so he tries to like sneak
Well,
other
that's
food.
That's
and
a fat kid.
I'm not joking. If,
No, it is, right? Like, if you can only have you have a calorie-restricted diet, and he tries to sneak food.
it's like a kidney thing. It's like a
okay.
severe
Sorry.
disease.
I was trying to be mean.
yeah, why are you ruining? Why are you making us look
Why
bad?
don't you let
lady?
me go with fat kid, not kidney
Sorry.
kid? It's way different.
Oh, man.
Kidney kid off limits. Fat kid, I think we still get a couple months before I get canceled.
Well, you could severely mess up, though, right? If you weren't
Right.
paying attention, you could give a kid the wrong stuff, and then
My
they,
God,
you
is
know-
that a UFO? Is that a fried bologna with the mashed potatoes slapping out of his hands?
Are you guys allowed to take some liberties with, say, like seasoning or recipes, or do you have to stick strictly to
Yeah.
how it is made?
Put
Well,
some of that
so the county
adobo in
sets
there.
out a menu. The
Sprinkle
county
some
sets
roller
out a
salt.
menu.
God, this
And then the
this
stuff
is
that-
bland. Put a half a jar of adobo in there, please. I beg you.
Right?
Put some mojo on it. It's killing me.
Depending on who's cooking, certain people will add extra seasoning.
Is
Is
The stuff that
everybody
comes to
here
us is
white?
very
We need
bland.
some person of colors now. Because
Yeah.
this food sucks. Put some seasoning in it.
My
God
God.
damn.
Yeah.
I'm eating cardboard over here.
Yeah, what are you doing? Is there any Latin Mima here? Please.
Yeah, she's got it in her purse.
For sure.
You got
With
the
some hot
Lowrys?
sauce.
You got the Lowrys. Oh, there it is. Sprinkle it on my bologna.
If
Greg.
we get all the Latin Mimos purses together,
we
can
have a whole shelf.
Oh yeah, we cook some tacos.
So what are your staples now in the school system in elementary school?
Well,
aren't they
so
supposed
we
to be
eat the
healthier
same
now?
things the kids eat. Yeah, so we eat the same stuff that the kids eat, and I will say there's very little that's not good.
I love school
Like
lunch.
the little mini calzones are really
You
good.
get calzones?
And yeah, and they
What?
come with marinara sauce and ranch
They
and
have
that kind of
stepped
stuff.
up the game.
And ranch. We didn't have
Yeah.
ranch.
Hell no. No condiments at all.
We had rolls. That's
Yeah,
all we
so they
had.
let 'em
Dry
have-
hamburgers, no condiments.
Do they still have those yeast rolls that the lunch ladies make?
Well, they don't make them; they come in, and then you have to,
pre-made.
take them out of the packages. Very little actually gets made. The hot food will sometimes have to be heated up, and like the mashed potatoes or like those pearl mashed potatoes, where you mix them with water.
Mhm.
And but the pizza comes where it just goes right into the oven. The more prep goes into, like, they have salads. That's an option, too, and it's
Hey,
a little container.
What is that? Sorry to interrupt you, but what is that yellow gravy with the little pieces of gray meat in it?
Hated it.
I could get on that, man. Put that on some mashed potatoes. What is that?
Well, the gravy that we have, it's not yellow. It's just like a turkey gravy type of thing, but it's just like the mashed potatoes. You just mix it with water, and it's magically gravy.
I love
Magic
all
gravy.
of this garbage food. I love
Now-
every bite of it. I love you, lunch lady.
Now, do you gotta ask yourself, do you love it or do you love the nostalgia?
Doesn't matter.
Of it?
There's still love there. I don't.
Because-
I'm not gonna drill down my love. I leave it wide open and big.
Because I mean, if so, is the quality of the food? Let's talk about that. Like, where does that rank in? Like, because it's coming from the government, and you know what that means. It's
I
the
think
lowest
it's
possible.
At least 2
cheapest-
Michelin stars.
Yeah, like, so is it decent? Like you said, do you guys eat it? So it's not that bad.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad. I mean, a lot of it is, like I said, it's all frozen. So as long as you can get past that it's been frozen and heated up. But I could eat me like a corn dog or grilled cheese any day of the week, like a PB&J.
Me too.
That it doesn't take much to keep me happy. But it's all, like, so it
Easy.
just comes in and that's what you have to make.
Yeah,
That's
it's easy
it.
stuff.
Has there ever been like an emergency, like, because I don't ever remember this when I was growing up, but I also don't pay attention to anything,
That's
so
true.
I would never know. But
Oh my God, the school mascot ate all our corn dogs.
yeah, has there ever been a situation where, like, through some catastrophe of like a freezer breaking down or something, where there
Oh, no
wasn't
lunch,
enough food and you have to serve lunch, so you had to like emergency go buy some like pizzas or something, like, has there ever been that where you didn't have lunch
Cafeteria food shortage?
Yeah,
But lunch is canceled.
or you had to buy because you
Well,
have to
no,
serve it, right?
The county has a mandate. What you start as the very first kid, you have to be able to offer to the very last kid. So every kid gets the same opportunity to have the same food. So the only issues I've seen is, like, maybe part of it gets burnt or they didn't make enough or something like that, and then you run out. And that's more of like the freak out situation, because now you have another 500 kids are going to come and you don't have the food to give them. And they're
So what
like
do
at the
you
high
do? What
school-
I do, right? You close the blinds, and then you lock the door.
Like it's
and
Halloween,
then
you have no candy.
They'll knock, and then you do that move where you step to the side, and you wait until you see their silhouette walk away, and then you're like, I think we're good.
Yeah. Just put all the
That's
milks out
actually
there.
what they did at the high school, though, because the people didn't want to make enough, so they
well, I
didn't
could be a
have
lunch
to count the
lady.
leftovers
I got
after.
this.
I like the high school lunch ladies because they sound
They're
They're jaded, man.
Like a high school
Yeah.
lunch lady is like an old war veteran that's done a couple tours.
Yeah.
And you now at the elementary level, you're almost like the Grizz at the safe base in Saudi Arabia. It's really
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So you guys haven't been jaded by years
Yeah.
of
There's no insurgent fighting. You're in the middle of a city.
of government red tape and
You got a desk job,
Union.
or maybe you're like a Robin Williams. You're like a
So what?
military DJ spinning the hits for the boys.
So what do you do if you don't have enough food?
Well, you just have to, like, the manager will keep on top of that. And it really comes down to the manager doing their job. Like at the high school, that manager couldn't care less. So they were just like, well, they'll figure out, they'll get like a sub or a pizza or something like that. But that's not the way it works. Like the county says, you have to be able to offer these same things. So, like at my school, the manager will notice that they're falling behind or they run out, and she'll just go make sure that there's enough. Even if you have to throw away a bunch of food, she's like, I'm going to make sure all of them have the same option. So it's just really about doing your job correctly.
The management aspect of this job, to get back on topic, sounds extremely difficult. Like, I think being a lunch lady would be good, and it would be a fun job to some people, but managing the ordering, the part of restaurants, I've talked to Juan about this, and other friends of mine that are either chefs or work in restaurant. cooking, that sounds great. Even serving doesn't sound that bad to me. What really stresses me out is knowing how much to order and not wasting my money and not running out of food. That sounds crazy to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's always stuff that we run out of because, you didn't account for enough people. Even like on field trip days where half the school is gone, if you didn't account for that, you're going to have way too much food that day, and then you're going to have to throw it all away.
Let me ask you, I have a question that something that would bother me just because of waste. Is there any particular vegetable that you have to put in the rotation that's
that
mandated?
Nobody eats.
Yeah, that you
spinach.
I'm
calling it now.
You cook it. You spend all this time. You put it on everybody's plate, and
Greens,
you see the fact that every single student ends up throwing it away. And so literally you spend all that time, you get it, you prep it, you cook it, you serve it just to get thrown in the garbage. And that must drive you insane. You're like, no, why? Just get it off the menu.
Well, it's more the fruits that they don't want. So
Really?
there is pears and there's the mixed fruit. And if it doesn't have the whipped cream and the sprinkles that we put on top, they won't take it.
You
my
goddamn
God.
babies.
But as Lake County, you have to. So in order to get a free lunch,
Whipped
you
cream
can't
and
just go and
sprinkles
get.
on your fruit. I know what's wrong
So
though.
every-
Full of sugar as it
That's
is.
what my pop-up said. He's like, soon we'll get to the point where you have to put goddamn whipped cream and sprinkles on fruit.
Fruit is nature's candy. It doesn't need whipped
That's
cream and
true.
sprinkles.
But in order to get a free meal,
He told me Obama would
Yeah.
put whipped cream and sprinkles on our fruit.
Yeah, and who's eating all the whipped cream and the sprinkles off the fruit? It ain't the kid with the kidney problem. It's the bigger kid.
right. But in order to get that free meal, you have to get exactly what is mandated by the county. So you can't just walk up and get a pizza and fruit. You have to get what's considered the protein, the 2 starches, the 2 fruits, and then you have to get the milk, and then it's considered a free lunch. So a lot of that stuff will go to our school in particular had a share table. They probably won't next year because of Corona, but so whatever you didn't want, it went into an iced bucket, and so the teachers would go through that at the end of lunch, and they would grab all the yogurts and the cheese and the fruit, and they'd take it back to their classroom. So a lot of it wasn't getting wasted.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So is it something where you guys have to get there earlier than the rest of the staff to start your prep and everything? Do you guys
Some of them have to serve breakfast.
Yeah, do you guys get there earlier than everybody else?
I don't, because I get there at 9:45. So the earliest person comes in at 6, and they do prep for breakfast. And then some people come in at 7, and they serve breakfast. And then me and I think 3 other people come in 9:30, 9:45, and then we're the last ones to come in. And then we all finish at 1:45. So it's nice. I drop my kids off. I go get some coffee, hang out.
Yeah, that's what we do.
We're the lunch lady of podcasts.
I just went in there and put a couple of White Claws in the old ice bucket, and I saw a butler who's a teacher take a couple of them back to his classroom.
So
we are the lunch ladies of podcasting.
So okay, I got 2 questions for you. What's the best?
Are you coughing?
Yeah. I got COVID.
Oh.
I was gonna.
Come on, man.
All right. I set the meeting for after lunch to tell you.
Yeah. Oh,
I probably scheduled that wrong.
Sorry, he's got COVID. We gotta go.
That's it. Never come back. So, what's the best meal that you would say that you guys make that most popular and most liked?
If the president of the United States was coming to your school,
and they do. I love when they do that.
And you're gonna serve President Trump the big dog meal that you make, the one that you know is gonna flip his hair up. What are you serving him?
So they have these, I forget what they call it, but it's almost like Chinese food chicken, and it's got this sauce on it that's so good.
Oh, it's the chicken in China, the Chinese chicken.
Oh, yeah.
Kung Flu chicken?
It's like a Thai chicken.
Damn it.
Is it called Wuhan chicken?
No. I think they might just call it Thai chicken because they write it on a board, but I don't ever go out there. But it's really good.
Tie a yellow
And the
chicken
kids
around
go
the old
crazy
oak
for
tree.
it.
They do like it.
These kids are crazy for the Wuhan chicken.
Well, because like some meals that they'll put, like they have the little nuggets that they'll make a bowl out of it. So they'll do mashed potatoes, corn with nuggets on top, and the kids.
Oh, that's
love
a
that.
famous bowl.
Yeah.
That's the old like KFC famous
Yep.
bowls. Yeah,
Is,
man.
is the pizza still as popular as it has ever been?
Well, so now that we're a middle school and an elementary school, they have to give that option every day. But we go through like 1,500 pizzas a day or something like that.
Oh my God!
It's
EJ
so
goes
much
through
pizza.
that. Big fat chungus.
All right. So, final question: as a lunch lady, because so far your schedule sounds
Great.
pretty
Fantastic.
Yeah,
And
Summer's off?
I love your demeanor.
9:30 to 1:30 every day.
You're doing it for your kid. You got the convenience of picking them up.
You get all the teachers. Or do you have to go in for teachers' work days?
It depends. So some of them say yes, but we had to do the fire drills like everybody. We have to do the active shooters. We have to do all the training. We have to do the mental health training.
Active
because
shooters?
you're supposed to.
Who's going to
Yeah,
shoot
you're
up the
supposed to-
cafeteria?
I literally listened to a
Well,
podcast this week about
we
that.
have-
I'm joking because I think they all have it.
Yeah.
Happens quite a bit because there's a lot of
what
kids
it
in
said.
there.
It's like it's like, oh, there's the surveillance camera. There's the trench coat guy.
Uh-oh.
There we go.
Big open space.
But we have to do all of that stuff just like the teachers. But I say my favorite things, like if there's something going on in one of the classrooms, like with my kid, they have those little graduation ceremonies.
Yeah.
I can literally just walk over there and do it and then come back. I started reading through my daughter's class every Friday,
Oh, that's awesome.
which was really fun. And then my son has his prosthetic arm, so at lunchtime he's over it. He wants to sit down and eat his food, and he can just hand it to me and move on with life. So
Love it.
it's like little things that make life a lot easier.
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't pay a whole lot. I've been off for 5 months now and been paid the whole time.
Yeah, you warmed my heart because my mom was an educator at the school I went to school at. She was a music teacher and a librarian, so I know what it's like to have your mom just pop by and see stuff. It really
That's
is
a
cool.
that's a definitely
It is really cool.
And then summer's off, and so let's get down to it. What does that pay?
Well, I get paid the highest amount that I can get paid, which is like I think $11.55 an hour.
All right.
Okay.
Because I was in restaurants for years, you can transfer all of that over
So
as like experience.
I'm a moron, so I can't do the math of what that translates to per year.
But
so
she doesn't work year round, right? You have summers off, or do you work through the summer?
I have summers off, so you actually are only working, I think, 10 months, or maybe less.
Less
Because
than
you
that.
get
Yeah,
off
less.
3 weeks in December, a week in October, 2 weeks in April, and then the full 2 months. And you get paid for the whole thing. The only thing that sucks is if you're under 6 hours, the county doesn't cover your insurance.
Right.
So I lose like $270 a paycheck,
Damn.
which is a lot
Yeah, it
for
is a
just
lot.
me.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So is
so-
it like teachers where your salary they spread it out through the whole year, so you get a paycheck every 2 weeks, even though you're off or whatever? They just take the cumulative amount and they just break that up into every
Christine's
2
saying
weeks.
it's close to like $25K a year.
Okay, yeah. That's
That's good.
Here's the thing: to be with your kids.
Can't put a price on convenience and seeing your kids.
Summer's off.
Yeah.
9:30, 1:30.
Yeah.
Not bad. I mean, there's
not
a lot of
not
other.
a particularly hard job.
Yeah, but being engaged with your kid, I think it's pretty valuable that like that choice and being paid. You know what I mean? Like it just that. This is a good one. This is a good one.
Now, I guess we'll end with this. I know that at least once a week, once every 2 weeks, someone makes do you want them extra sloppy? The old lunch lady.
I didn't know. Okay, just for the record, I had no idea what Tom was talking about. He looked at me, grabbed his breasts, and screamed, "Do you want to make them extra sloppy?" So I don't know
What's
what
the joke? You know, the
I don't know what you're talking about.
The SNL Adam Sandler lunch
the
lady.
lunch lady, but I don't know. Do you want to make them extra sloppy? What the hell are you talking
It's the Sloppy
about?
Joe song, extra sloppy, right? What's the joke?
Oh, like do stuff to the food, you mean?
No, No. I mean, she serves it, and she got the big mole, and she's like they make her look like a monster, and then you say, "Do you want your food extra sloppy?" It's some joke like that, right?
I told him.
Oh, yeah, Daniel's acting like he doesn't know. He knows.
Apparently, it's from Billy Madison.
I know the
Okay.
Sloppy Joe song, but I don't know the "Do you want
Sloppy
an extra
Joe
sloppy?
song from
Grab your
SNL.
breast. I got a mole on my face."
I didn't know. I don't know.
It's a
it
whole
either.
thing.
I don't
Anyway.
personally do that. No.
All right, I'm sorry. I guess,
Don't do that. You'll be fired if you do that. If you do what
I
Tom
guess
just
no
did to a
one
kid,
knows.
you're gonna be literally arrested.
All right. Well, thank you very much for being on Weird Job Wednesday today. We appreciate it.
You are the winner.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
No problem.
Take care, and thanks
See
for
ya.
listening. We appreciate it. That is Ashley.
Allison.
Yeah, I forgot because I did the same thing. I was like,
50-50.
thank you.
I knew it was Allison, Ashley,
lunch
whatever.
lady.
I was trying to look at what you wrote, but I can't read your handwriting upside down. Or
Lunch
right
lady,
side up.
not a bad job.
No.
Well,
Sounds pretty
maybe
good.
maybe elementary school level, but
One of
yeah.
the better of the educator jobs as far as I think fun. You know, being a teacher is hard as hell.
Yeah.
Especially now.
Yeah,
We didn't even ask her about going back. What's your plan?
She probably.
They probably don't know yet.
Yeah.
The hell's going on for the school
No one
year?
It just got they're voting today on pushing
Yeah.
it back, I think.
Or whether they're going to do virtual or physical or both.
They're supposed to give you options or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just my daughter asked, and I said, I don't think you have to go to school anymore ever.
All right.
I think we're going to run this Little House on the Prairie, and you can work.
Get to work.
You can work with me in the sawmill.
To
and
me-
learn some real world experience.
It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be, there's going to be holes in the plan, and people just have to roll with it because guess what? We're all in the same
You
situation.
got to think of school as a Tom and Dan event.
Yeah.
It's not going to be perfect.
Yeah.
It's not going to go right.
Yeah.
But as long as you keep a level head and roll with the punches,
Yes,
we'll all be okay.
Because that's going to be the problem is the people freaking out that this is not done right or this. It's not going to be done right. It can't be because there's too many variables.
Too many people.
And it's too complicated, and you're asking people to change a. How many decades have they been
This
doing
is
it
the
one way?
epitome of be cool, bro.
Yeah, so you're like, hey, change everything we've learned over decades of doing this and fine tuning it, and then now do it a completely different way during a pandemic and get it
I like
right.
that.
Of course,
Getting some suggestions from the Twitch chat room, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live. Juan checking in says, give all of the kids a free White Claw.
All right, I like
Just
that.
like a Tom and Dan event, but only for BDMs.
yeah, the kids that pay,
Yeah.
not the free
Not
ones.
the free ones. And if you
come
share
on.
your code
Yeah.
or whatever, I don't
Oh,
even know
yeah.
what it's called anymore. It's my show. I don't even know what it's called. Don't share your code. They're like,
"We
what?
don't-"
What's a code? I was like, I don't know. It just sounds like something we're not.
Isn't there a code involved?
Don't you use the code? Use the discount code, right? They're like,
Something?
no.
They're like, I don't know what it
Yeah.
does. I don't know what.
How do you get into a BDM account? I'm like, I don't know. What's a BDM?
I don't know.
You're
what's
Dan,
happening.
right? Oh, I am?
All right, do it.
Bye-bye.
All right, we'll be back. Welcome back to A Corporate Time and Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Let's do a couple of emails, or at least start with one. We've got limited time. Sam?
Random and short Dad Tuesday. You guys are always talking about the long con with your kids. My front teeth are veneers from an accident. I was eating breakfast and one popped off. I caught it and fake screamed, "No nerves in the post, so no pain." Then looked at my preschool kid and said, "Look, I didn't brush my teeth last night. My teeth are already falling out." My wife got in on it too. He is the champion of toothbrushing now. Figured a random dad story to get you going on a Tuesday.
That's pretty good.
Here's the thing, though. What's not good about that one is it's to teach them a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
My long cons are up for nothing. That's it.
No, you're
Like,
right. He's
they're-
right.
I
He's right.
have a vivid memory as a child of my grandmother popping out her teeth and at Gatorland on a field trip
Oh, my God.
to me and all my friends because she was the chaperone and told us that,
best BJ.
that if we didn't brush our teeth would fall out.
Yeah. See,
Oh, sorry. I
See,
didn't mean to
but it
besmirch
was
the name of your
terrifying.
grandma, but I just wanted her to scream something horrible.
the thing is about that one is they're going to for sure figure it out fast because one night they're going to forget to brush their teeth and then they're going to wake up in the
We
morning
have to knock
scared.
their teeth out.
And then they're going to be like,
Yeah,
oh,
come
that-
here.
You know.
That wasn't as bad as the time she popped her fake eye out at camp.
Oh.
What part of your grandma was real?
That's a great question.
Oh, yeah. Also, was her name Large Marge?
She did bring two 12 packs of Diet Mountain Dew on that camping trip.
Wow.
Help me find my teeth in my eyeball.
And I'm fairly certain she was smoking weed behind the cabin.
She
Your
sounds
grandma's
awesome.
awesome.
I want to party with her.
She's still alive?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll give you her number.
Bring her in.
Oh, yeah.
Can we call her?
No.
Please.
She sounds like she'll be a
Can
character.
we send Tuttle to interview her?
Yeah, that'll allow.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you
That's
sure?
Worse than calling her.
What if they start dating?
That's fine.
He's your new grandpa.
Let's make this happen.
He'll do it.
You want some 90s? I got my hat on today. Something's wrong. I can feel it.
Tuttle will literally do anything. If we were like, we'll let you keep plugging your thing, you got to do this.
Yeah,
He'll
Just
do
gotta
it.
plug my grandma
He
too.
will.
There was no drawing the line.
Sam.
He does not care. Anyway,
He will marry your grandma.
So what I don't like about that long con is it's for a purpose, and I like my long cons to be
Random.
when my sons
Yeah.
figure it out.
Do they ask you? Do they go, are you joking?
Are you clowning me?
They do.
Because Maisie does that now, and I feel, and I know I'm doing the right thing, but I always give it up. Because I feel when she's like, are you joking? I don't want to be like, absolutely not. She'll never trust me again in my life, right?
No, because if it's all about the intent,
then I'm softer than you are.
if the intent is a joke, then they have to learn that was the fine. You lied to them, but the intent was to make it a funny joke, not that you lied to them.
The chat room doesn't even care that we're trying to figure this out. They're more like enamored with Sam's like robot grandma.
No.
Fake eye, fake teeth, smokes weed. What did she drink? 32 Diet Dr. Peppers or something?
No, Mountain Dew. Diet Mountain Dew.
I swear to God,
That
is she
makes me
just- is she
feel
just-
fine with
Am I
drinking.
your grandma? Because I feel like that's me.
Yeah.
We got to take a break.
Yes,
All
we
right.
do.
All right, we'll take one. We'll come right back. Start the second hour.
How old is she?
Yeah, how old is she?
I'd
In
have
the
to do math.
80s or?
Probably mid-70s.
All right. Yeah.
Still smoking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Get Tuttle on the phone.
Yeah.
And he has to drive there, nothing but a golf cart.
Been smoking for what, 40, 50 years?
Yeah,
maybe?
for sure.
Probably, yeah.
Probably since she was a teenager.
When I see that, I'm just like, I
should just
I
start
drink
smoking.
too much Diet Coke. I may give me cancer. I'm like, no, this is fine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this lady.
She's
genetics.
fine.
yeah. I mean,
How long is she? Have you always known her to only have one eye?
Yeah. She lost her eye when she was a small child.
Oh, in like an accident?
Yeah, she was
That's
like
a
climbing up a
tough
bookcase
lady.
and there was a pair of scissors and it fell.
Oh my stars, that's terrible.
I feel like in like the 30s, like everything was so much more dangerous.
Yeah, there was
Like,
no
it's just-
childproof.
Every bookcase had scissors on the top of every single one of them. They're just made that way.
It was a dangerous
they're
place
like,
to
why
live.
is the scissors? That's the way we
Yeah.
make them.
No one's watching you. Poison everywhere.
You certainly didn't
sure.
do like I remember when we bought furniture. My wife was like, "You got to anchor it into the wall."
Oh,
I didn't even know what that meant. I'm like, "What do you mean it's built?
Right.
Anchor it into the wall."
Yeah. It's not a ship. Anchor. Anyway, all right, we're
All
gonna
right,
go.
take a break. Bye bye.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom. That's Dan.
I was
Samantha's
gonna
here.
say
Huh?
Porkin time
Oh yeah.
with Tom and Dan.
Well, then you should have started. You
Because
left it up to Tom.
Well, no, and that's why I paused. He like went. He's like, "I'm Tom," and then he got mad. You see him? He's like, "That's Dan."
I guess this guy's not going to talk
That's
now.
Dan over there.
I'll just do it.
I'll do
anyway.
the whole show
myself.
F it. We're doing it live
Yeah.
without Dan.
All right. Oh.
We don't need Dan. Dan. Ooh, Dan the man with a plan.
Here's when you have real balls. Like you act like a D-head, but you got some secrets that you
Yes.
hope no one finds out. Because,
Yeah.
Like,
Well, most guys that act like D-heads have secrets,
Yeah.
but a lot of them are too blinded by their power
Yeah.
to know that the person they're belittling could take their secrets and then release the secrets.
Yeah. Because I feel like I am the perfect person to be a D-head because I don't have any secrets that like I don't want anybody to find out.
But you would need those in order to be a D-head, and that's
Yeah,
why
yeah,
you're not.
Yeah. Because
You're too wide open.
what's the no spin zone that got fired? What's the name?
What?
Is it? It's not Hannity. It's
Bill O'Reilly?
Bill O'Reilly.
You were to say Bill Murray, which is
No.
absolutely incorrect.
O'Reilly, like he, the Do It Live and the whole thing, and then got fired because of it was a sexual misconduct with a.
It's always
or
sexual
something.
misconduct, right?
But then you got a real ball. You're screaming.
Wait till I'm
real-
firing Butler because of it.
But you're like, I hope they don't find out about that thing I do with the secretaries.
Oh, I watched that show you're
Screaming
watching.
probably doesn't help. Huh?
I watched that show you're watching with Steve Carell playing Matt Lauer. Well,
Morning show?
his
morning
version.
show,
yeah,
yeah.
it's good.
I heard it was good. I
Yeah,
haven't
it's real
seen it.
good.
Yeah.
It's a real good show, but
Steve Carell's good at it.
He is great in it, but I can't. Everything he goes to do, I laugh at because I think he's Michael Scott. And it kind of messes with my brain a little bit.
Yeah.
It's the same thing I had with
Typecast.
James Gandolfini. Yeah, absolutely typecast. When James Gandolfini played in that one movie, he played like a gay hitman, and he was phenomenal.
Yeah.
But for a split second, I'd have to just slap
Tony
my
Soprano,
brain.
yeah,
I'd be like,
yeah.
Tony Soprano, nope, gay hitman.
Yeah. Same thing with Jim from The Office. So Krasinski, it's always Jim for me. I can't take him seriously. He's
Yeah.
a Navy SEAL. I'm like, Jim's not a Navy SEAL.
He's not. Look at the camera. Look at the camera.
You're a lovable nerd. Anyway, let's do it.
Would you like to do it? Let's do it. Did you hear about The Office? They wanna do a sequel. They wanna reboot with the guy who plays Stan Lee, who in Canada you would say, what about? It's the only word I could think of that would rhyme and fit in that first phrase that I mentioned, the character Stanley. When I was really young, my mom and dad used to refer to me as a strange two name called Danley. It's a dumb name.
We love Porkin.
I hated that name.
Who's Porkin? Brought to you by Porky's Barbecue in Apopka. If you want some delicious barbecue, try some pork.
You never loved me!
Porky's Apopka.
Are you speaking as Will Smith? Because this week
Oh, yeah. No, she's not
we
going
are
to do
about
it.
to get entangled in some entanglement.
Kabam!
Have you heard about this, Tom? The entanglement issues going on between the Smiths.
I think, and yeah, I have some pretty strong... I have some pretty strong feelings about this this Porkin.
Do you have any idea what I'm talking about? Have you seen the memes?
Yes.
The entanglement memes.
That's what got me is I saw
Never dangle your entangle. When you do, it goes papoo.
a bunch of memes and then a bunch of jokes about Will Smith and the cold. You know,
my
like-
favorite is
and I was
whenever
like-
my favorite, and
looked
you
it
want
up.
to turn my day around if I'm having a bad day. Something happens to Maisie, I think about my dad, financial problems, arguing with the old lady. Photoshop Michael Jordan crying on anybody's body, and I'll start laughing.
Okay, that's good to know.
The face. You put that on anything, I start laughing. I don't know what it is. I laugh. Or the Steve Harvey when he's reading the incorrect winning name. Oh man, put that on a meme. I'll laugh.
I did probably what every human does. That's probably within the normal parameters. Where you see a story like this, and then you're secretly happy that he's a weirdo too.
Who?
Yeah, Will
Brock.
Smith.
I think Brock.
Why is Will the weirdo?
We're live on Twitch,
Well,
twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live. Brock nailed it. He took my theory. I have a theory about this, and Brock in the Twitch chat room nailed it.
Okay, well, what is it?
Okay, well, let's let Sam explain what's going on, and then I'll go through my theory.
Okay, so on June
Brock's.
30th, there's this singer called August Alsina, and he was on The Breakfast Club. You guys are familiar with that show.
I like that show.
And while he was on that show, he basically opened up with the fact that 4 years ago, he had a relationship with Jada Pinkett Smith.
Yes, he did.
And he actually claims that they were separated and he had a sit down with Will Smith and that Will Smith gave him his blessing to go ahead and start this relationship with Jada Pinkett Smith.
Yeah.
Then all the rumors swirled around. Everyone's trying to figure out what's going on. He also had a song last year, this August Alsina, that people speculated was about Jada Pinkett Smith. He denied it, but I mean, there's a lot going in here that the lyrics say a different story. I'm trying to find it now. It says, so here's to clarity. The song is not about Jada. It's simply just a song. But the lyrics are, you got me feeling like it was an act. You're just an actress. Putting on a show because you don't want the world to know that you lost a man who loved you all along. Baby, couldn't we just get along? And also in the video, he is texting someone named Corin, which is Jada's middle name.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
I
So he
mean,
did it. You know.
When asked about this, though, Will Smith said, "Yo, Holmes, smell you later."
Because all of this came out and the rumors were swirling around and everything was blowing up about it, Jada Pinkett Smith has her Facebook show, Red Table Talk, which I've never actually watched, but I heard it's really good.
I'll say I think they also consider it a podcast, but it's bigger than that now.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah, it's really good. But I'm just not a good. I don't want to be negative to people I don't even know. I don't even know their business. I don't know who they are.
Right.
As far as I'm concerned, they're just celebrities. I'm just not a big fan, I don't think.
I'd check it out because the whole premise of the Red
No,
Table
the show
Talk
is good. I mean of them. I just feel
gotcha.
like there's something there. It's you know how I say I look at Jim from The Office and there's something about him I don't like?
Yeah.
It's the same feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is. It's not right.
I think it's a fake positivity, that Will Smith's always feels.
Well, you kind of see it in the clip if you watch this clip from this episode because Will sat down with her on her show because the whole premise of the show is like, hey, let's get everything out on the table. Let's be open and honest. And so they're talking about the situation, and Jada kind of is dancing around it. Like he's saying, so what happened? Let everybody know what happened. And she goes, well, 4 years ago, you had enough of me and, you broke up with me basically. And I got into an entanglement with August Alsina. She said at first he was a family friend of theirs. I guess he had an illness and they were like taking care of him or whatever.
She claims that he needed her they were
support
friends
kind of thing.
and it was like friendly emotional support for a guy that
then it
needed
turned into something else.
some help.
To which Will kept pressing her like, well, tell us what it was. And she kept using the verbiage entanglement. And then he goes, you had a relationship. Like he called her on her BS. And she was like, yeah, an entanglement. That's what I said.
Did they look like they were acting?
No, not to me. He seemed like he was actually mad that she wouldn't straight up say, like, I was in a relationship with this dude.
Because I guess the problem here, and Christine's kind of nailing it in our Twitch chat room, twitch.tv/TomandDanLive. She kind of mentions who cares about their inner workings of their relationship, let them do them. I guess Will's getting a lot of heat for this. I think the whole thing just, I don't know, it's just weird. And that's not fair for me to say, because you doing you should not be weird to anybody, right?
Yeah.
Because you're doing you. It's none of my business. But I think maybe where you're going to go is, I think when you have portrayed yourself in one way and you want people to desperately believe that you're one way, when these type of things happen, that's why you get so much dust getting kicked up, right? Because some people feel like you lied to them or you led them astray or you weren't forthright.
Right.
But here's the thing. You don't have to be. It's none of your business.
Not your relationship.
Yeah, it's none of your business.
See, I don't know enough about Will Smith or Jada Pinkett Smith to know, because it's kind of like the televangelist. Why people get so mad at televangelists is because of the hypocrisy. You know what I'm saying? You're standing up there, you're saying, hey, you got to be one way, and behind the scenes
yes.
you got alligator
righteous
boots.
gemstones.
Yeah, you're righteous gemstones. The people get mad at the hypocrisy.
God, when is that coming back? Oh, I miss that show.
So
Never seen it.
I have a couple opinions on this. One is I bet you there are a lot of relationships, especially with celebrities.
Oh, yeah, Hollywood relationships?
People in politics and people in the public eye.
Definitely in politics.
Where it's just a business thing. And these people, they may have started out in love and they're married and stuff, and then things go wrong and probably it becomes a situation where you're probably not happy with each other, but instead of divorcing, you just come up with another solution, which is like, hey, we're gonna live like we're married, and maybe we'll even sleep in the same bed or whatever, and maybe even have the occasional sex or something. But it's just we're both high profile. This is just a business thing. On the surface, it's more. I mean, I think Hillary and Bill Clinton lived like that, and I think they realized. I mean, just I
don't even think our current president and his model wife are hot and heavy. Are you kidding me? Are you joking?
And
that lumpy nickel ass is the whole ass is a bag of nickels.
And then if you look at marriage and relationships, even as a whole, we've always been fed this BS movie like thing where it's like, oh, you fall in love and
everybody loves the romance and the high school sweetheart
and you're eating spaghetti and you're doing you're
doing the Lady and the Tramp
and you're everything is always roses. And some people and we've seen this before, when people portray that their marriage is like that always, even past like the first year or whatever, the honeymoon phase, it always comes off as fake, and you're like, come on, because that's not life. but that's not relationships. Human beings, they get in fights. Like you get in each other's nerves. Like whatever. Like it's more being married is more than just that. Oh, we love each other all the time.
Yeah.
And so there's ups and downs. There's problems and stuff.
Although I did find it interesting that this specific Red Table Talks was like they were in a therapy session together.
Yeah.
Like they were calling each other out. Like she was saying, I wanted to feel good. I didn't feel good for a long time.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I have a tendency to agree with your perception of the interview. I think I saw it like you saw it. Like Jada came off a little.
He's still angry about it. It felt like it was uncomfortable.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Yeah.
You would not like it, knowing how much you hate uncomfortability.
Yeah.
There's an element of real in there where you're kind of like, why? Like there is a part of me that while I was watching it, I was like, why am I watching this? I've done this. Like I've had arguments with my wife before. I don't need to watch somebody else do this.
It's an
fun
element of real, but it's also contrived in the fact that it seems like Will Smith knew that this happened, and like it's not like he
did.
He's
He
finding
knew,
it
yeah.
out and
Well, that's
like
the thing
confronting
is,
her. It's like,
the August guy did claim that he
had
gave
the meeting.
permission,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Will Smith's like, we talked about them dating, but like I never said, hey man, you're good to go, bang my wife.
Yeah,
but you know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? So he knew what was going on.
yeah, it's
but
probably.
he also thought that at that point that their marriage was over. So what's he gonna do? Tell her no, you can't date anybody else?
Yeah,
This
yeah.
whole thing's super simple too. I think.
But he also said like at the time he never thought he was gonna speak to her again.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
but now they're back together and supposedly better than ever.
Well, the whole thing is very simple to me, though. It seems like two people whose reality is so absolutely insane. You get it. Will Smith, at one time and even now, maybe not so much now, but at many, many times in his career, has been the most popular human on the planet.
Yeah. Still
And
up
that-
there with the most popular actor on the planet.
And I think that takes your reality and
Oh, yeah.
completely. I mean, we won't even be able to comprehend what's
kind of
that like. So, of course, their
bizarre-
relationship is
yeah.
weirdo, right?
Yeah.
I've always thought she's a little weirdo. I
Yeah.
still think she's hung up on Tupac.
Also, I will give it.
She's kind of been a fluid gal, right?
Yeah.
She's like almost like what is that, gender binary? Like almost like can have girlfriends and guy friends, and she's like really artsy. I see it. It doesn't. It's maybe not even as weird as we think it is.
I also like it. I think there's two things that happen during these types of instances. So one is there's a very old school misogynistic mentality. If you get cheated on by your wife or whatever, and you decide to stay with her, people like there's this thing where
but
guys
it
will-
also but it goes the other way too.
Yes, it does.
No, it does, but I think heavier on men in that way, where it's like
It's a machismo
You're
thing.
you're
stupid.
taking away your manhood
It's
or
stupid.
whatever, or you're a cuckold, or they'll call
Yeah.
you
your P
cuck.
word. Yeah.
yeah.
You don't have your house in order. There's
yeah.
a little misogyny sprinkled on it.
And for you to forgive that
Ridiculous.
person is like I said, in the super sexist, misogynistic world, which we live in. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like- and guys think like this is that you're less of a man if you
Work through the problem,
Forgive
yeah.
that, yes. And for me, I always look at it like, all right, either way, someone makes a mistake, whatever. I'm like, if there's a way to move past it. Now, the problem is if you can't move past it and you're
Then
just
you got-
constantly
right.
arguing, then it's bad for everyone,
Yeah.
especially with kids.
Well, then that kills the quality of life for everybody,
But
right?
if you're able to, like, all right, move past this, get back together, work on the relationship, it may take years, but and then you look at your life like, that was probably a better option than breaking up and then having two separate houses and the kids and bringing new people. It's just like, seems like that's more of a disruption than working it out. If you can.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
So-
I think you're right.
So I don't really now back with Will Smith and Jada. It's only bad if they've portrayed, and I don't know if this to be true, but if they portrayed they've always had the best loving relationship and all, it's like
They have been known to, like there was always
Then it's like,
rumors swirled around that they had an open relationship, and they kind of don't really say yes or no
They've
on
always
that.
had a lot of rumors, though, the Scientology
Yeah.
rumors, and people are like, "Oh, they're Scientology," and they're like, "No, we're not."
But
and then
they've
we're like,
always been like, supposedly this great couple together.
Yeah.
They're perfect for each other. And at the end of the show, they do like put their hands together, and they, the bad boy saying, but they say,
What they say, bad boys
ride
for life?
together, die together, bad marriage for life.
No,
That's their sign off for the show.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
At least
They can laugh about it now.
And Daniel's right.
Well, at the end of the day,
They're
they're
hung.
both extremely talented and
Right.
filthy rich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
They're
not
fine.
that
And their
bad.
kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Not that bad. Their kids are talented. Their kids are healthy. What the F?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
like
fine.
for people dying on ventilators.
But it did make me laugh because the memes, especially because she really was dodging for a while, actually admitting that it was a
So
relationship.
she kind of took the male role in the argument,
Yeah.
did she not? The stereotypical, I should say.
Yeah.
But
Because look,
Will did not lit up. He no, you had a relationship, and she's like, yes, I had a relationship.
he doesn't strike me as the type of guy that would be easy to argue with. If-
Also,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past
smart
them
guy.
planning it too. Like
That's kind of what I thought.
I mean,
The interview?
They've been in.
That's
they've
why I
been
said
I don't know,
entertainers.
man. It seemed pretty real.
it did seem
Well,
real, but
it seemed
that's
real
why I
when-
asked you if you thought they were acting,
when-
because the
I
first thing I
didn't.
thought of is they're both really good actors.
Yeah.
When Will Smith is
Really good at it.
crying in the bathroom, holding the door, they're trying to get. He's a bum trying to be a bum businessman or whatever that movie is.
That's so disrespectful.
It seems like he's crying for real. To
He's
me
a
too.
bum trying to be a bum businessman. It's Will Smith.
You know what I'm talking about? It's like he's a damn. When he's holding his.
He's a sad bum
when he's killing.
trying to be a bum businessman in just a bum world.
When he's killing his zombie dog, crying like
Yeah.
I believe him. Like, so whatever he does, I think he can get past making it look believable to us, right?
I am Tom
but
Van.
You're right. It could have been, it could have been a legitimate thing.
It
like
seems
that.
legitimate to me.
And but again, like people all the time have business marriages where on the surface they're married, whatever, and behind the scenes are like, all right, we're just gonna live like this. Maybe we'll go get our rocks off somewhere else if we want to have, or some people are like, listen, I think Bill and Hillary Clinton was exactly that, and they were both super high profile
You
politicians.
don't think like in the beginning though they were?
No,
in
in the
love? Okay.
in the beginning, it just
And then
it
just
just
kinda
turned into
stay
that
together.
And I think like once you're the president, like how much time are you gonna think? Okay, being married, it took me a long time to realize this, but it's at least a part-time job. You got to put in.
It took you a long
Wait a minute,
time
write
to figure
that down.
out.
Being married is a part-time job.
Well, what
Van.
I had to figure out is you have to put work into it, and a good amount of work to make it work. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't just I'll work on it later. If you keep doing that, it'll damage it. You know,
yeah.
like so. Who's got time? If you're the president or you're an actor that's one of the most famous actors in the world, or like when you're up there like super busy all the time, like how much actual work can you put into a relationship? Like it'll be impossible. You're filming movies and your entire schedule. Like,
Look, we work and we work really, really short hours. I mean, I'm here for maybe an hour, 2 hours. I mean, when I'm done here, the editors come in, the cleaning people come in, makeup, cameras, they fix everything up. Then I get in the limo. The limo takes me home. I don't think I work. I'm just being honest. I don't think I work hard enough on my relationship. I'm being serious. I don't think I work hard enough on my relationship.
Yeah. Well,
I don't.
Some people don't need like as much work for their spouse to put in. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's different too. Like So I'm saying what I think my relationship. I gotta put in a lot. Mine is like what's the hardest job in the world? Underwater welder. Where you're down there in the depths
Sounds
of
lovely.
an oil rig and you're trying
Quiet.
to weld, so and then you got to sit in the decompression chamber.
Every once in a while, one of those fish with a lantern on its head comes over to you.
My marriage is like the roofer in the Florida summer of marriages. It's just miserable.
All right. My marriage, I'll tell you what my marriage is like. We're going around the room. My marriage is like I'm an older man who owns a hot dog cart.
Oh, yeah.
And he's selling his hot dogs out front in front of a strip club, but it's during day.
Okay.
And then somebody drives by and just stray bullet, he gets grazed and dead.
That's
my marriage.
All right.
Drive by
That doesn't
hot
make any
dog.
sense.
Drive by hot dog cart man. What's your marriage like, Sam?
You have to put a lot of work into your
My marriage is like my husband exponentially got super old and does nothing but bitch and complain and has crazy amounts of OCD and drives me insane.
That will not.
It's a constant trying to calm down his passive aggressiveness. And,
that will not age well. He'll be he's 10 years away from full curmudgeon. 100
I don't even think it's going to be that long.
Yeah,
Is he still up in the level of denim he wears and grumpiness?
Well, that's just for lawn maintenance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Full denim.
And he's real grumpy with everybody.
Yes.
Yeah. Then
Lucky gal.
Yeah. Super hot.
It's a good thing he's hot. Yeah, I mean, he's hot and smooth.
Yeah,
He's a real piece of eye candy, but he's grumpy.
Yeah.
Whether the curmudgeons will age you though, with like a real stone features.
Well, they're fun to ride. I'll tell you that. Yeah. Shouldn't have said that.
Yeah. So hey,
That's a good porkin.
Like Daniel said, they're super rich. They'll be fine. But
They seem to be in a good place now.
Yeah.
Jada just seems really mad that this guy came out and talked about it.
So-
though.
Well, that I think that's what the tail end of like what Christine was saying. It's like you got this guy right not being cool. This could have been going on and working well for a very long time, and then you got some guy that doesn't abide by whatever the relationship traditional rules
just
are.
don't talk about it.
Yeah, he airs the dirty laundry. Next thing you know, they're on the defensive for something that was working, or maybe they thought they'd had it handled.
Which you
know?
Okay, I'm surprised they don't pull like a Trump and make everybody sign non-disclosures. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because like that does help. It does because
We should have done that here.
If you're Will Smith, and then so you're like your marriage that we're going through a rough patch, and your wife's like dating this guy or banging him or whatever, and the guy's like, hey, I'm doing this. He's like, fine, whatever. I don't even know where my marriage is.
I want to do the Jay Cutler though when the guy's like talking to me. And he's like,
don't care.
Yeah, I wanted to be like, hey, it's okay if I take her wife? Don't care. Like really loud in the bathroom.
You're Will Smith. You have to figure that this guy is gonna tell his buddies or like someone, right? Like or eventually TMZ or something. Like
hey, put it in a song.
Yeah. Like this guy's gonna rap about it for sure. Like, it couldn't have caught him totally off guard. It had to have been a ticking time bomb. Like, well, this guy
rhymes with Jada's boobies.
This guy's going to tell people eventually. So they must have had this planned out, right?
Crazy booty.
You know.
I think he thought that they were in it for the long haul. He said he like dedicated years to the relationship, and he put his whole self in it. I think he thought they were eventually like gonna get married.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then she broke it off, and maybe he's mad that she broke it off,
right.
and that's why he's talking about it.
How long was it? 4 years?
4 years ago it happened, and he said he put quote years into it. I don't know if that's 2 years, 3 years.
But you can't do that thing where you're like, I put my whole heart. Yeah, because that's varying degrees of concentration.
Yeah.
Come on.
And maybe I'm just thinking that they've already planned it. I mean, regular people don't, even though movie stars and stuff, like you probably just don't plan it out like everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as like having a backup plan, like what if this guy does tell, like what's going to be the, but you got a publicist.
I still have never seen the relationship where they dabble, let's just say, whether it's friends of ours that dabble, whether it's movie stars that dabble. Normally the ones that dabble end up splitting at some point, sometime.
I'm just thinking, okay, so...
and going their separate ways, then starting a new kind of a relationship. It never really... I've never seen one that just stays.
So Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, they're a corporation. They're their brand, right? And a lot of money is being made on their backs or using them or
Can
they're
we just
making
call her
it.
Jada Smith?
So Jada Smith.
Is that disrespectful?
I don't know.
I mean, she kept her last name for a reason.
That's a question too, right? Why'd you do that?
So
a lot of women do.
You did that because you wanted to go.
Well, she already had a career as Jada Pinkett.
I'm joking.
But so there's a lot of people being employed around you. Like both of them have full-time publicists that probably make like
and they've been doing it for years.
Yeah, $400,000. You got business managers.
30 years.
At
And
least, yeah.
those inner workings people, they must have known that like, hey, this people's marriage is kind of just a farce, as like a just for show. If they're they must have.
But I don't think it was.
Yeah, I don't think it is either.
I think they had some issues. They thought they couldn't work it out.
Yeah.
They split up. They thought they were going to get a divorce.
Sounds
so
like
she started a new relationship. Then they eventually worked it out.
But during that time, it wasn't open. Like they still probably went to red carpets and stuff to get like they portrayed themselves similar
Maybe.
to because I never heard. Well, who knows? I don't remember celebrity gossip from 4 years ago. But I
You
never
didn't have Who's Porkin back then.
Yeah, I know. How were you able to keep up with
Although,
it?
see, now that I'm reporting on this entanglement, maybe by next week they'll be broken up. I don't know.
Yeah, it should happen.
I just didn't. I never heard of them like about like.
There's always been a little bit of mystery.
Yeah,
there's always been a little bit. You know that
there's been rumors for years.
I'll end with this because we got to take a break here eventually. But there's a little bit of that smarming, that weirdness that Tom Cruise has. Mm-hmm. That overly positive, like what's wrong with you, you weirdo? I gotta figure, like you look at him and you're like something's wrong. Like there's a little bit of that on both of them, and I don't know what it
Scientology,
is. And again,
situation.
I always like to preface this by saying it's not fair to say this, and it's extremely judgmental. I know what it is. I'm just saying I don't understand why two people that on paper I should have no problem with. What is it that I'm feeding off of that makes me uneasy? What is that?
I think it's I think guys like Will Smith, and there's other actors like this, where it looks like they're always acting, even in every interview or when you talk to them,
like they're always on.
And then I think
so. What's real?
Well, I think that's a personality type where
for sure.
you grow, and that's what makes him such a good actor, because he's acting all the time, 100% of the time, even when he's acting like his normal personality, Will Smith. But he's acting as if the person he wants to be Will Smith. Not that it's nefarious, it's just like
right.
And then so he can change very easily to any character.
Oh my God, he's a shapeshifter
because he can do this, and I think that's a person. Because you've talked to people before where it's like, are you acting? Who are you? Like it's like this. Like, am I a hidden camera? Like this is.
Yeah.
It seems like
over the top personality.
Yeah. It seems like you're acting, and I don't know what's going on. But that's their personality.
Whenever I meet like a juggalo,
Butler acts like he's a salesman.
Oh, yeah, that was
does
harsh.
he? I haven't seen that yet. Got him again.
Whenever
he's done nothing.
Kind of on me though.
whenever I meet a real juggalo, like somebody who's like
really into it.
Yeah, I'm like looking around and I'm like, what's going on here? Something's wrong.
Yeah.
Or somebody that's wearing a lot of rings, I'm like, what's going on here?
When you got the face makeup on and you're drinking Faygo, I'm just like, this can't.
Yeah.
You can't be into it that much.
And you're standing outside waiting to go into the counselor down the street here, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Like this is.
You couldn't take your makeup off for counseling?
Yeah. Is this mental illness? Oh, yeah. Mental illness. That's right. That's what it
always goes mental illness. It's a safe bet.
Yeah. That's what it always is. Anyway.
Let's take a break, and then we'll come back and finish out a Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
Sayugen!
Old Street
When's
Fighter.
the last time you played some Street Fighter?
I don't know.
It's been a while.
I downloaded, you can download all the older games, and I downloaded them. My daughter does not like. And I realized early on, if you're not really good or know all the moves, having just two guys standing face to face, and that's the whole game, kind of boring, you know?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you were playing antiquated video games.
Well, they still make those side-by-side fighting games. I mean, Mortal Kombat's still a thing, but I'm just saying, when you really think about it, you're not traveling a foreign land. It's not a sandbox game. It's not
Gotta get on Smash Bros. Where the stage moves.
Yeah, it's not one of those, what are they, RPGs, or I don't know what they...
Side scroll?
Yeah, all the different games. Like, you're not going anywhere, so it's not as good.
You know what stinks about becoming really good at one of those games like Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, whatever, is you think that if someone's like really, really good at this game and has figured it out and stuff, that he'll be doing like multiple moves and he knows all the different
patterns,
specials and the patterns, but it turns out like he just figures out a way.
I found the loopholes. Just kick your ankle 25 times.
You're like down and do low kick.
Stop doing the low kick. I can't do my Hadouken.
And you're just figuring out.
Stop doing the effing low kick, Gary.
You're just hacking the program because you found a loophole and you're just low kick.
And you can't stand it. You keep trying to do fireball, and he's going, and you're just kicking my shin. It's not even doing anything.
And
I'm taking points away.
You beat
a
the
lot
whole
of fights
game
in my household growing up.
Yeah.
Due to people losing in one of those fighting games.
When's the
then
last
it turned
time?
physical.
When is the last time you checked the thread? We have never had a thread.
Blowing up.
We have never had a thread in the history of a Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan, a Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. We've never had a thread on our BDN page that's blown up like this one. Feel free to send your email, show@tomanddan.com. If you don't have Facebook, a lot of people have killed their Facebook because people are mean and crazy.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. We're talking about whenever you've lost your temper and smashed an item, and the number one thing smashed
Your
is
own item. Yeah.
your own item. Yeah, and the number one thing is gamer controller.
Or phone.
Xbox, phone.
Yep.
Tiny electronic device, rather.
I got an email from someone, a fit of rage. where he said that.
I got one right here from Canadian Josh, who we're going to talk to on tomorrow's show. Check this out.
Okay.
Hey, gang, it's Canadian Josh. On the last BDM show, you were talking about breaking things in a fit of rage. I just wanted to share with you my story. Working on the ambulance at the time as a paramedic, and third night shift in a row. It was like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I was exhausted. I had dozed off on the couch for about 20 minutes, just enough to get into a good sleep, and I got woken up. Go out to the ambulance bay, and we have these tablets, and you have to open them up and put a password in, and then you'll get your incident information. I was so tired, I could barely see. I kept entering the password wrong, and it was paramedic spelled backwards. And the whole time, mind you, while you're trying to do this, it's beeping at you, and it's beeping. It goes, incident assigned. Incident assigned. Couldn't get the password in. About the 4th time I got it wrong, I took the tablet out of the ambulance. My partner had opened up the bay door, and I winged it across the parking lot of the ambulance base. It went flying I got a good 30 yards out of it. And then I kind of snapped out of it because I looked at my partner, and he was staring at me in sheer terror, and I broke out laughing. He started laughing. We went on the call. Everything was good. It was a bullshit call anyway. Anyway, that is my story of rage. Love you guys. BDM for life.
Canadian Josh, you know better than curse. Also, not as cool as if in a fit of rage you throw something and then you have to go the slow walk and pick it up.
Yeah. If the thing is okay, if you retrieve it, you've negated what you did to begin with.
Yeah, all for nothing.
I got an email too about this.
You got to leave it. You got to throw it and leave it, never to be seen again.
Yeah. For it to have an impact.
Correct.
Without it, you're just an idiot.
Yeah.
because you threw your thing.
Now you're just the saddest fetch player of all time.
Yeah.
Yes, Sam.
It says, I don't have Facebook, so I couldn't do the poll, but when I was 19 or 20, my ex and I were arguing, and she punched me in the nose hard enough that blood gushed up, and I blank stared her in the eyes and punched a big hole in the drywall. Also, the most expensive thing I saw destroyed was an iPhone 11 and TV. I was at a buddy's house, and we were having a few drinks, and he kept asking his girl who she's texting, so he snatched her phone after she kept saying nobody. He saw it was a guy and quietly, like a psychopath, snapped her phone and, for whatever reason, kicked the TV like Leonidas from 300.
So he snapped it with his one. Wow, that's impressive.
Maybe it was a
I think
flip
if I
phone back
tried
in the
to
day.
do that with my wife's phone, I'd be like, and she'd be like, "You're too weak, aren't you?" And I'm like, "I am."
You're just taking a bunch of pictures.
On the,
all you're doing is resetting the phone, you weakling. And I'd be like, "I'm gonna walk backwards," and then I would just walk backwards out of the door.
On the poll in the BDM group, we got a lady threw a printer out of her front door after it ate like 40 shipping labels.
Are we
that
gonna
she
do
was going
this?
to have to manually write out.
Are we gonna do this on the Friday Free
We
Show? And
can.
give out a prize for the best use of anger.
Yeah, we should.
So I'll just leave this poll up and we'll talk about it.
Well,
Friday.
if you want to participate, you'd have to be a BDM. You can sign up at tomanddan.com.
See, you know what? There's certain things that are more satisfying to break than others. And for instance, so baseball players have one of the best utensils, I guess, for showing your dramatic anger, and it's the baseball bat, and it's when they do the move where batters, they break their bat over their knee. You know what I'm saying?
It is pretty cool.
And because it's just, it looks cool, and it's a perfect expression of the anger, and plus that bat is rendered useless after this. Not that expensive because they probably got a bunch of them, but a Major League Baseball bat is at least like $250 a piece or somewhere, like $500. Anyway, these guys are millionaires. Who cares?
Yeah.
But it's the action of holding like a big stick and
really
then
breaking anything over your leg's pretty cool.
Yeah,
and it's
cool.
satisfying.
Like, I think it's cool when my wife comes out of the kitchen and breaks a spatula over her leg.
The worst one.
No, she doesn't do that. They're too expensive. They're like $12.
Yeah.
The dumbest one and the one that gives you the least satisfaction is the crinkle the can in one hand.
Yeah.
It's like
you can't even do it. And you're just doing the sides.
Yeah. It's like, that's stupid. It's like, don't even do anything.
Now, there's a video of a woman at a party.
Yeah.
She's like up on a table, and she's like a muscular, like a sporty girl. Like she's like an athlete.
Yeah.
And they throw her a beer, and she's like, gang, 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 like smashes
She
it.
smashes it open and
she
then shotguns it.
And then shotguns the whole beer, and I'm like, all right, now that's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
The smashing the beer over your head until it starts spraying out and drinking it.
Is that hot for guys to see girls do that?
You know what?
Are you intimidated?
For me, a little bit of both. And I find that attractive. I do.
All right.
I like the girl that can party. Like, I like the something about Mary,
Here's the problem.
The Supergirl gens
is that
I'm into it.
It's cool in the small clip you're watching on your Facebook page.
But if that's an everyday thing.
No, it's not cool if she's flushing my head in the toilet.
Well, no.
You later, she's like, take it, bro.
In the real life scenario, like they
calm down, Susie.
Well, yeah, they throw the beer.
I like how you named her Susie.
It was like you spill beer, and then she's cleaning up sour. Like then it's not as cool because she's like cleaning up
the
beer.
aftermath is never.
I don't
good.
imagine her cleaning. I'd imagine her go like, "You do it, nerd."
Right.
Well, that's your
I'm
putting
projecting. I've created a character.
Yeah, most likely it's all planned, and
Yeah.
they're like, "Hey, she could smash a beer in her head and drink it." It's like the new stupid put a beer on a basketball.
Oh,
and
don't
bounce
call
up.
it stupid. A lot of people in the CBE group love it.
I know you guys. Well, there's nothing. There's the chugs of the beer and the basketball. You only got a limited amount of things. But
I don't know. Jay Van Scoik's been killing the game.
Here's what you can't have. I can't see that there's a bunch of wet marks around the concrete. And
Yeah.
then, you tried it a bunch of them.
I thought the same
dry
thing.
concrete. Dry. I'm sorry.
We've been screaming a lot lately, and I like it. I'm with you. You saw the same one I did. It was a bunch of girls that did it.
Yeah.
And
I'm like, you tried this 15 times before you finally got it.
Yeah, you did. And I saw.
Go to a dry part.
Yeah, you got to move it to a dry part so you at least Dude Purpose. Dude Purpose. I created a new YouTube channel called Dude Purpose.
Yeah, that's the ultra Christian.
Yeah, Christian Dude Purpose. I did it again. Dude Purgatory.
I think there are ultra Christians, by
They
the way.
are, yeah.
They wouldn't even do an interview.
By the way,
with
coming to the Amway, August 2021. They're already doing the ads for it.
How are they going to be able to do that? I don't know. I just want to see how they're able to replicate a whole show based on them doing something hundreds of times so they finally make it.
Well, you
and then
get
no
there
one's
and it's
gonna-
just like, here you go, and then it goes swish, and I'm like, all right, and then just go home.
Or is it what they try the half court shot 38 times and then we just sit there and then they do it and they film it and they're like, look at this, and then we're like,
what if they?
Well, I don't. Dude Perfect behind the scenes is horrible.
The two worst scenarios for Dude Perfect. You tell me which is worse. You get to the Amway early.
Yeah.
You pay for parking. You drive in. They dim the lights. And now, hold on. And now, Dude Perfect. Swish. That's it. Now
okay.
that or, and now, Dude Perfect. We're going to keep trying. 2 hours later. Squish. Which is better? Getting there and they hit the first shot and you got 2 hours just to like walk the Amway? Or getting there at the end and they hit it right as they run out of time?
I don't know. I watch those skateboard videos a lot where the guy falls and falls like hundreds of times and then finally makes it.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, why did I waste my life? That was stupid. You know what? Because I knew he was going to make it eventually, but I kept watching him fall and fall and fall. And then when he finally made it, I was like, I knew it was coming.
I'm gonna make you feel better. You know the video where the guy's making a pancake and it's just a GIF and he never never flips the pancake, he just keeps moving it back and forth. I watched that I must have watched that thing for 45 minutes.
I watched the old timey guy chopping a tree in black and white.
I did that one.
I was like, it's about to fall. And I'm like, man, I'm dumb. I'm dumb. And I'm wasting my life. It's the worst kind
also,
of dumb.
somebody told me if you drink bleach, you don't get COVID, and man, that hurt. Does not taste good.
Oh, you should see
Bad.
how much Corliquin I'm taking. I don't know what it's called.
Tom's on Colin Quinn.
Man, what's he up to?
Just being gay.
So no, honestly, what are they going to do with Dude Perfect? You brought up something that you're probably right. They'll just bring in a bunch
It's
of
a kid thing.
the professional like trampoline dunkers.
Yeah, it's
and,
like Jabberwockies.
and then they'll
you do music, dance. Then you got to do it's for kids, so you do the audience.
yeah.
Because when we went to Paw Patrol,
Yes.
they're like,
Yeah.
or no, it was what were those things? Bubble Guppies.
Bubble Guppies.
They're like, Bubble Puppy lost his bone. Is it somewhere in the Amway?
And
it's so stupid.
And they'll bring out like they have to like, all the guys from Dude Perfect who are now celebrities. Basically.
Bucky, Spike,
and
Little Jimmy.
They've practiced something that
Javier.
that looks hard, but they could do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it is. Like they'll use like a bow and arrow and hit a balloon, or like stuff that is not as hard as the stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just like a show of the guy attaching a balloon. He's got a bow and arrow. I'm like, this sucks. I just want to yell at him.
But because they can't do any of this super hard tricks because it takes too many shots.
You know, TikTok. People talk about TikTok and they do all the crazy videos. And Dude Perfect, you know, I'm sure they have a TikTok. I watched this. You know, there's things that are on Facebook where it's like you can have like Judd Apatow teach a comedy. You can have Steve Martin teach you how to play banjo or write comedy. Or you know, they've got all these crazy like, meet your new teacher.
Yeah.
And they have one that's like this guy who's like a TikTok master. And they show you like the guy throwing the ping pong balls into the glass.
Yeah.
And I never knew that if you just hold your phone over the glass and hold another ball over the glass, you throw over like and hit a count so you can't hear it, and then you just drop the ball in.
You learn to fake it. Yeah.
When I saw that, I was really mad.
It's just magic tricks. It's like how they do magic on the internet. It's just a bunch of camera angles and stuff.
I was really, really mad.
You know, one of my favorite videos to watch, and there's only, probably dozens on the internet, but it's during halftime shows, they'll do a thing where they'll get a big sponsor and let's say,
half-court shot?
Well, not that, but like let's say it'll be a big sponsored event, and like say Disney World wants to give away a huge family vacation with a resort stay, and it's all, Disney paid, like let's say Orlando Magic to do this, right?
Okay.
So then the Orlando Magic team sets up, and like they paid a bunch, like they probably paid $50,000 just for this one bit. Woo! And gives away. So they'll say like, all right, we're gonna bring a member of the Magic to hit a 3-point shot or a half-court shot because he's good at it, right? And if he hits it, he's gonna send this family with with the sick daughter or whatever to Disney
don't
World.
throw the sick daughter in
and
there.
So they're all like, yeah. And then in the whole bit, and they only have like 3 minutes because it's all timed out exactly. We've been a part of this crap. So then the player comes out and they're like, yeah, just hit the half-court shot.
Make the family with the sick daughter really happy.
And then he can't hit it.
Yo.
And then he tries. And then he keeps missing it. They're like, oh! And they're like, he's going to make it. And then they have the cheesy on-court announcer. It's usually just some hot chick like that they hired like a Mackenzie or a Tiffany. And they're like, all right, this time, so close. And then they ran out of time. They're like, well, Disney's going to give it to him anyway.
They did. We've done it. We're like, it doesn't even matter. Give it up for JetBlue. It didn't even matter. I also like they're like they're gonna send this family with a sick daughter to Disney World, and they're like, what does she have? Oh, COVID? Oh my God! Everyone run for the exits.
They do this where like on live TV they expect a player like, oh yeah, you could. I think they played like some clip of Kobe going on Ellen one time.
And he couldn't hit it?
No, he hit it. But they just set up a hoop in the studio, and they asked him to hit it like around a 30-foot shot or whatever.
I can't imagine him not hitting it.
But I was like, why would you take the chance of him not being able to hit it? Because it was like, if he makes it, you're going to get this car. And the lady's like, and then he nailed it. But I was like, man, that's a lot of, I guess they would just, because it's a TV show, they would just, if you missed it, they would have him just keep doing it and edit it, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. That's what you do.
But I like live mess it all
I like
up.
that. I like it when things go wrong. That's why I always like the Frisbee dog that did diarrhea on the Orlando Predators. That's why I like the little girls doing the hula hoop during Orlando City. The first year we did Orlando City with little girls doing hula hoops. People are like, get them off the field.
I wonder if there was a halftime show fails like compilation. Probably, right?
Probably.
Yeah, I'm staring right at it. Yeah, boys.
Hot Take Tuesday.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producer's here. Butler's in the other room. And I'll give these guys a plug. The Top Shelf Aquatics fish are healthier than ever.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
We got a turd worm in there. We got 6 to 8 snotty snails. We got baby crabs.
Hermit crabs.
Yeah. We got
scallop.
We got a electronic scallop.
Yeah.
He shoots lasers out of his little tentacles.
Yeah.
We got, again, my new favorite is a poo-poo worm. That thing is hideous. It's just amazing.
It is gross.
It's amazing, though. Like, it'll retract, and it'll look like a log, and then it'll plume out its butt, and then it becomes like a big, beautiful peacock worm.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
insane. Aliens. Speaking of peacock worms, on the line with us right now is our very good friend live from Canada, Canadian Josh. What's up, man?
Privet, tovarishi.
Uh-oh, he's lost it. Oh, I knew it was happening.
Finally.
Yeah.
Wait, was that a curse word?
Yeah, what were you, what is that?
That was not a curse word. That was Russian. I work with a Russian physician. His name's Misha. Hi, Misha. And I told him I would do the intro
Misha,
today in Russian for him.
Oh, great.
Oh,
Now
okay.
you're doing shout-outs to your Russian pain pill dealers.
So,
I'd do the same thing. Look, if I could get a couple blue meanies, I'd shout out
also,
Randy.
if you're
Yeah, small price to pay.
if you're gonna move out of Russia, why pick Canada? Like it was like,
Oh,
Dude, I know, yeah. Exactly. He's and like we're working out in British Columbia, and he's actually not that far from Russia, where we are. He just goes across the Bering Strait, and he's back in his homeland in Siberia. Not that far at all.
yeah, it's just it's like you know, you live in the Bahamas and you're like, I want
go to Jamaica?
You're like, I'm moving to the British Virgin Islands. You're like, okay, it's the same.
Completely different. I heard they don't have rum.
Why don't you go to Colorado? Like, you know, experience life.
Yeah, you're right.
There's other things besides barren cold.
Yeah.
Anyway, what do we got today, Josh?
Hey guys, today's edition of Canadian Josh segment is actually going to be dedicated to Samantha. She is going to get to choose her Canadian adventure.
All right.
All right. What does that mean?
All right,
That
Sam,
sounds-
the topic.
is that what you're going to say to her after you've kidnapped her? And your
exactly.
nude, scallopy body is standing in front of her? And you're
Scallopy.
like,
Yes.
choose your own Canadian adventure. Why don't you start at the great white dong?
Don't
Samantha,
get
your
syrup.
topics are two things that are near and dear to your heart. It is going to be Letterkenny / Jared Kiso
Oh,
and
yeah.
serial killers in Canada.
Why do I have to choose?
Canadian serial killer sounds awesome. He's so nice.
Yeah.
Can I please kill you?
I want both, but I'm gonna go Kiso.
What do you want to start with?
Let's go Kiso.
Okay, let's start with Kiso. I hear you talk about it quite a bit, Sam. I know you were a huge fan of Letterkenny and Jared Kiso. Tom and Dan, you guys not so much. I don't think you watched that show.
I know of it. I'm relatively familiar. I have not committed to it yet because it hasn't been something I can activate the wife on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as soon as I can
Yeah,
get that,
it's one of those weird. Yeah.
yeah, it's not. I don't think it's gonna really like. She likes Call the Midwife, and then like she liked that show, Morning Show, and
Yeah.
she likes things that are maybe a little less. I don't know, guys sitting around drinking beer and acting dumb.
Is
That's not what it is.
is Letterkenny a person or a show?
It's a town.
It's a town.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Letterkenny is it's a fake town actually, and it is the name of the show. So Kiso got he was inspired by basically where he grew up. He grew up in Listowel, Ontario, which is a very rural farming area of Canada, and actually started as YouTube videos. The first web series he put on YouTube was called Letterkenny Problems, and it just went from there. And I really like the show too because I grew up in a very rural area. I'm not saying it's exactly like Letterkenny, but I know guys like that, and I know that small town rural Canadian feel. But Jared Kiso, man, I just think one of the most underrated actors there
I like
are.
to be
He's
under
just
his
great,
rating.
hilarious, and yeah, it's taken off huge.
Samantha
Huh?
got horny there.
What are you talking about?
Really?
No, she just said something.
I didn't say anything.
I heard.
It's not.
Yeah, while
she
I was doing
normally
my
doesn't
Sam,
do
I don't
what
know
we
if you
do.
know this.
Yeah, I know.
You're not
Threw me
supposed to
off.
do what we do. He says girls' names, and we go ooga ooga.
Yeah. So this is good
Sam,
looking
while I
gentleman.
was doing my research, I don't know if you noticed, looked at his IMDb. Did you know that he was in the movie in 2014? He was actually in Elysium.
No.
Yeah, Matt Damon movie where he's like
Interesting.
they make him like a hybrid human, and he's got to get it's like post-apocalyptic. They're trying to get people up to this like basically big space station, and yeah, I didn't realize Jared Kiso was that. He was also in Godzilla in 2014.
I did
so
know
now I can
that.
go back and watch these movies and see if I can find them.
Yeah.
Cool. Let me ask you a question, Josh, about small towns.
Yeah, buddy.
So
Yeah.
it's always been curious to me when people are on the run or they want to get away from people or like they want to disappear.
I mean,
or
wouldn't you
whatever.
like to get away?
They often in the
Yeah.
movies and you hear about people like going to it's hard for me to say rural areas.
Hold on, why don't you try and turn it over one more time?
Rural areas.
Hold on. I didn't have the positive terminal connected. Try it again.
And it seems to me, or it makes more logical sense that you'd want to go to a big city because it seems
like blend in. I agree.
In the smaller towns and the rural areas, everybody, because there's no one around, they all know each other and they're all in each other's business.
They're also hyper like you talk about neighborhood
like
watch.
nosy.
You go to DeLand and they can't where I'm from, a small town. They know everything.
Yeah, so
you come here, nobody knows nothing.
So it seems like, and then in a big city, you're just moving next door. You don't even talk to your neighbors. Like it's like understood. The culture is, hey, just mind your business. There's too many people here. So you could blend in a lot better in a city than you could a small town, right?
Yeah, exactly. I live in rural Canada, and it drives me insane how much people are all up in your business. My next-door neighbor, she's probably in her 60s. I swear to God, she waits till I'm coming outside if I'm, going to wash my truck or I'm going out to do something to the pool. She waits till I come outside, and every time I step outside, miraculously, she has to come out and water her flowers and all up in my grill. How you doing? How's work? And,
maybe she's checking you out, Josh.
I'm not a fan. Well, you never know.
How's her teeth?
Ooh.
They're there. I think they're fake, though.
Gummers.
They probably come out. So
missing an eyeball.
So let's move on to
it earlier.
To the second topic: Canadian serial killers.
Yeah, just one more thing I have to tell Sam real quick. Sam, I know you're
shut up. This is Josh's show.
This is my day.
Mine and Sam. It's me and Sam.
All right.
Sam, check out the movie Don Cherry, Keep Your Head Up, the Don Cherry story. But Don Cherry, you guys probably haven't heard of him. He's a pretty iconic Canadian hockey commentator, and Jared Kiso did the role of him as he's coming up to the NHL and getting into professional hockey and coaching. First, watch a little bit of Don Cherry footage, and then watch the Don Cherry movie, Keep Your Head Up, with Jared Kiso. Brilliant, and he won a bunch of awards to it, too.
That's a good porn name, Don Cherry.
Josh, we always talk a little hockey, but is it true that
buddy.
When is the hockey season supposed to start?
It's supposed to start in September. That said, just side note there, it is resuming. Training camp's already started, and they're going to kick off kind of like a hybrid type playoffs. Is going to start August 1st in 2 different cities. So excited about that.
And is it true, the commissioner of the NHL is not really a hockey guy?
No, not at all. He's a businessman. He's a rich Jewish guy from New York, Gary Bettman.
Yeah, I've heard about this because they've been criticizing some sports and how they handle it. Obviously, MLB for one. And it turns out there's a lot of MLB owners that are not really baseball guys, and commissioner's not really a baseball guy. And then they were talking about the NHL, and they're and it does make sense because if you're the commissioner of the sport, it would be more advantageous to me if you were knew everything about the sport or you're really into it. I know it's just a business and it needs to be run like a business, but there has to be some passion to it to make it better.
Yeah, exactly. That's how he approaches it, like a business.
I always liked it when, and this is going to sound lame, but tell me if you fit this mold too, Josh and Sam and Tom. I always liked it when the commissioner was like a older player that had paid his dues and was a little grizzled and knew the game. And the one that I'm thinking of, he's not the new one, but my favorite commissioner, and we met him a couple times. I believe he was of the original, and I mean the successful AFL. It was Jack Youngblood, right?
Yeah.
And because that guy was actually a legendary player, I always liked it. I think it does a lot for the sport when the guy, it's like player coaches that have played in the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I always think it's cooler. I know it's not fair, but to me, the amount of experience that they have, I don't know, just lends itself to maybe a little bit more of an authentic experience for me.
Yeah.
I guess at the end of the day, it just goes to prove that it is a business. It keeps emotion out of it and keeps the NHL making money. For example, Quebec City, they have been dying to get an NHL team. They built an arena. They've been on the list for years trying to, but who got the last NHL expansion franchise? Las Vegas. Then Quebec thought they were going to get the next one. Who's getting the next expansion franchise? Seattle. So they go where the money is, right? It's just all about the money.
All right, what's up with Canadian serial killers?
We have them, actually. Yeah, obviously, when you think Canada, you don't think serial killers. We've had some pretty infamous ones. I guess all serial killers are infamous. I guess the most recent one that comes to mind is that Luca Magnotta guy, Don't After Cats series. We've got Clifford Olson, Carla Homolka, and Paul Bernardo. The one I was going to touch on specifically, Sam, have you ever heard of Robert Willie Pickton from British Columbia, Canada?
Robert Willie Pinkton?
Pickton.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I'd have to look into what actually he did because a lot of the names get lost.
So he was the guy who had the pig farm. He owned the big pig farm.
Wait, his last name was Pigton?
Picton. P-I-C-K-T-O-N.
P-I-C-K, yeah.
Oh, man,
yeah,
so close.
He owned a huge pig farm in British Columbia. So from 1978 to 2001, they think he may have up to 65 victims. There's 65 missing women in the Vancouver, BC area that disappeared. He was charged with 26 charges of first-degree murder, but he's only convicted on 6. I guess that's all you really need. So his MO was downtown Vancouver, British Columbia. Transient women is who we go after.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to get too deep and dark here in this, but he owned a pig farm, so you can kind of do the math there. What he did.
Snatch.
Oh yeah. Did they get that from that?
I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of times I'm sure something like that. It's not the first time, right?
No.
Yeah. Because will a pig eat a whole human body?
Oh yeah, they eat the bones and everything.
Yeah.
Well,
pretty much everything.
What will a pig not eat?
Nothing. They eat everything.
Will they eat
They'll
the
eat each
skull?
other, I know that.
They'll break it down, man.
They're not going to eat the skull.
Yeah, they gnaw on it until they break it. Like,
Yeah.
Well, you'd have to eat the teeth out first.
yeah. Will the pig teeth? Can they grind up a skull?
I don't think they can.
Yeah.
Probably not.
I think.
So then you got a skull
So you
and
own a big pig
femur.
farm.
Eat the skull, you stupid pig! I'm going to get arrested.
Yeah, the skull is the most identifiable part.
Yeah, God, you ate all the feet, you ate the ribs,
Yeah,
you dumb pig.
The small bones, who cares? Like,
Yeah, I can eat the small bones. I brought you in to eat the big bones, and you're not doing it. Then you kill the pig, then you got to bring in something bigger to eat the pig.
You're like, oh, God.
It's like the worst version of I know an old lady who swallowed a fly.
Now I'm GD Tiger King. Okay.
You look in the mirror, you just have a mullet and a gun on your side. Like, what has happened to me? And a really black mustache.
Yeah, so, it turns out that there's no country borders that can
For old
keep,
men.
that keep serial killers away. It just means you're a human psycho. And there's
it's a human condition, and it was obviously just a human condition, not necessarily bound by any country. But yeah, it was pretty bad. Like I said, they got him on 20. He was charged with 26. They convicted him of 6, and the one, I guess, if you take some good from it, it brought to light a lot of misgivings and incompetency by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, just kind of apathy towards a homeless population and prostitutes and stuff like that. They really, and Sam, you're probably, if you listen to the podcast, one of the podcasts about Robert Pickton, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police really dropped the ball on this one, and so
I think I could get away from a guy. Well, okay, if I'm a serial killer and a Mounties chasing me, I think I could get away.
Well, I'm laughing because I imagine like the detectives, they were walking in with a horse, and it's like, oh, your horse doo-dooed all over the evidence. It's like, they're knocking over like the apartment.
Oh no, my horse took a poo on the evidence, eh?
It's like this is inefficient.
Oh man, your horse took a brown on the evidence. Oh no, I gotta wash the poop out of the cadaver, eh?
It does that waterfall number 1.
Oh man,
it's all over the IKEA furniture.
Hey, get your horse Gertrude out of here, eh? She's peeing everywhere.
Yeah, like.
Sorry that Josh. I know that's a horrible Canadian accent, but it's so fun to do.
Yeah, you don't have.
I'm so offended.
You have no instruments in your mountie pants because they have no pockets.
Hey, what's your horse eating over there? Oh, your horse is eating a skull, man.
A horse eating, stupid pigs.
They finally got him in 2002. You know how they got him? It was the old cell plant. They had him arrested and charged with some other non-serial killer-related murders. While they were holding him, they took an undercover RCMP officer, put him in the cell with the guy. I'm not sure. They were in there for a few weeks together, and then obviously the cop was pretending. And he spilled the beans to the cop, which I have some friends who are RCMP officers, and it's a very efficient way of getting people. It's funny how much people want to blab, and just blabbing to his cellmate is how they're finally able to charge him.
I think Sam could do that. As much as you like that kind of stuff, you get in there, right, and you have to pretend that you're a lady prisoner, and you kind of buddy up with the female serial killer, and she spills the beans to you. Think you could do it?
I don't want to pretend like I'm a prisoner. Can't I just be the investigator?
Yeah.
God.
No.
No, you got to get in there.
Yeah, you got to get in there, and you got to do some Orange is the New Black type stuff.
How much extra do they
watch the show?
Like, how much extra do they have to pay you for that to live?
You get overtime.
And
yeah, they do get extra pay for it.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, I know you get extra, but it's like.
And here is a $40 Starbucks gift card that's never been activated.
Because I want to be paid even like my every single minute that I'm in prison. I don't want to I want to be paid while I sleep. I
I've
want to
never
sleep
understood.
with a serial
You know
killer.
that show? Like, what is it? 60 Days In, or what? I've never fully understood that show, because they're just taking normal people and they put you in prison, and you get. Like, if you stay in the longest, you win the money? Is that what it is?
I'm not sure.
Because I never understand it, because the guy's like, I'm going to freak out, man. I'm going to tell it all. And I'm like, well, is he going to tell the prisoners that, like, they're killers? And he's like, hey, guys, I'm just on a game show. And then they're all going to be like, wow, we have to kill you now. And he's, Like, how does that even work?
I don't know.
Because they lead you to believe that this guy is, like, going to be murdered right before your eyes.
Yeah. No.
Hey, guys, I got a question for you. I think we kind of got to address something a little more serious here, the elephant in the room, and that is the fact that Canadian Josh doesn't have a theme song.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
Actually, Dan was writing one, but then we listened to one of your voicemails and you cursed and you made us do extra work. So now we don't have time.
That put me.
That's
So
a
now
loyal
we don't have time to do the song.
That's
now.
a loyal producer.
I'm gonna get a list to Pariah Mike to just knock
cranking
out.
him out.
You're gonna make him manic and then he's gonna drive him insane.
No. He said
too many
he's-
songs.
He said, "Give me the song."
We got to shorten him up, too. I'm sorry, but, I got to give some guidance.
We'll give him some
Shoot
direction
for a minute.
But we need a song from Mike Weatherpage, Crazy Tuttle's bit, Canadian Josh.
Oh, Tuttle!
Yeah.
I was just listening to the Tuttle one podcast from last night. Yeah, I've been working a lot with that guy, and he's doing good. I don't know if this is a good thing that I'm working with him. What do you guys think?
I wouldn't say it.
Well, depends on what work. Are you doing crazy work?
Yeah.
It's good at
What are you
that.
doing? You eating
No, he's got just voiceover stuff, voiceover and production stuff, like imaging and just some spots for him for some of his sponsors.
How many skulls have you fed to pigs lately?
Did you send him an invoice? That's never gonna get paid.
Yeah. That's an IOU.
Yeah.
No, I haven't sent him an invoice yet. He's going to take care of me.
Yeah, well, he might
When
send
you
you one of
start
his
rolling
dad's sweat-stained "Make America Great Again" hats.
Yeah. He's not good for it.
No.
He's
not good.
I don't know what your rates are, but whatever they are, you're definitely
Hey,
gonna pay.
you know what? What if we picked up the tab?
Well, for Tuttle Show?
Yeah.
Well, what
Be
is
a nice gesture to do?
What are you recording for him? Like, what did he ask you to do?
A couple spots for his sponsors. I don't know if you want me to mention them or not. Just like a 15-second spot, 30-second spot for another one, and then some imaging for him. Yeah.
Papers and phones.
Is it acai?
Is it noni juice?
What is it?
Hey, what if we pay you? What if we pay you double what he's paying you for you to deliberately mess up the app?
Like
change some names. Put a fake, number in there.
Offhand, it's like Total Wireless of Palm Bay.
Why can't I do anything seriously? Why do I have to ruin relationships? What's wrong with me?
We have the ruiners.
I forgot about the ruiners. Back in.
Oh, you guys aren't allowed in Canada, by the way. Don't you do that or not?
Yeah.
Why?
What?
Because
We
of
put up a wall.
Because of Corona, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we've been advised actually we've been advised to actually contact local health authorities if we see a vehicle with an American license plate. So there you go. We
Damn.
built the wall. Take that.
Y'all straight narking on
Joke's on
everybody.
you. Don't even have a license plate.
Right.
Yeah, come and get me, Mountie. I got a car. You got a horse.
Because I'm not driving to Canada, so it don't matter.
I'm going to fly there, and I'm going to go cough crazy.
Yeah. And Trump told me go where it's cold. That kills the virus.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. He said the hot multiplies it at the hot.
And I heard that a mask just gives you a false sense of security.
The heat, just too much. The virus loves the heat.
Yeah.
Loves it.
Flourishes.
The hot. You see how hot it is, Josh. It is miserable outside. My God.
Really?
Oh,
man.
it might be the hottest I've ever felt.
It feels like you're dying.
It does.
Yeah. I'm not joking.
Oh.
Like, it is.
You don't want to know what the temperature is here, then.
All right, tell me. Tell me so I can hang up on you.
All right, buddy. It is, so I'm going to do a quick conversion here. It's about 66 degrees here and raining, and I can still see snow-covered mountains.
During the day?
That's too cold.
Yeah.
66.
I'll take my heat.
Yeah.
Oh, 60. Nice. Oh.
Plug something.
Yeah.
Hey, jcvoiceover.com. I'm actually too busy right now, but whatever. Just go to tomanddan.com. Click on the hookups page. You'll see my ad there for JC Voiceover Service if you need anything done there.
You got it. Josh, always a pleasure talking to you, man. Please stay safe. Give your family some love from us, and we can't wait to talk to you again.
All right. Love you. Bye.
All right, man.
See
See
ya.
ya.
Bye.
See, he says it.
He's a nice guy.
I spread the love.
Yeah.
I'm a lover.
Well, okay. Yeah. No. Bye-bye.